You know what makes you feel really good about yourself? Doing something good for somebody else. And if you'd like to do that today, go to jdrf.org. Join them in the fight against type 1 diabetes. jdrf.org. It's something good you can do for the world. jdrf.org.
Ladies, some of you sickos willingly accept that with the big doe eyes that you don't even need from a Snapchat filter and just look up at R. Kelly and say, give me your best.
The Rants of Izzo. United 7. MoJo 50.
Have you done it? You catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror?
I'm one of those people you don't want to see naked.
Yeah, most of us. But I mean, you look and you're going, what the?
I know.
How did I get to whatever?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible. Hey there, it's Doc Thompson and Brad Staggs to tell you about a different way to shed those pounds. This is brand new tech. It's only been around for a couple of years or so. It was based on research from the University of California that said there's a molecule called OEA that's found naturally in your body. It produces it in the Mediterranean diet, that when taken in concentrated amounts, it will actually make you feel fuller and boost your metabolism.
I've lost about 10 pounds so far.
It's amazing.
It really is cool.
A company said, we can take this to market and make this great product that'll help you. It's called Riduzone, RIDUzone.com, RIDUzone.com. Brad's worked. It's worked for Brad's, worked for me, countless other people. Go to riduzone.com and try today. You're going to love it. Riduzone.com. Remember that, RIDUzone.com.
MoJo 50. The question isn't who's going to let us. The question is who's going to stop us. Adjust your mojo now. Thank you. Mothership has landed. Doc Thompson, Brad Staggs, the mighty MoJo 50.
Getting old socks. Good thing I've got like 4 pairs of readers, because this is one of those days where my eyes don't work. Like yesterday, they were working fine. Today, I can't. I've got to squint, and it's...
Stop playing yourself.
I guess it beats the alternative, yeah, and the hairy palms. You know, there was one thing that I had a bunch of stuff that I had lined up, and it just, you know, here and then here and then here and then here. And then I come in and I look over at Izzo, and he says, he said, reparations, Kamala Harris. I went, yeah. He says, Dave Chappelle. I went, holy crap, you're right. And then everything kind of went out the window. So this just may be the day that we play a bunch of YouTube videos and have fun, because, God, I hate politics. I hate politics so bad.
Pantless Wednesday.
Did I tell you I went to Boise State? I know.
Boise State or Boise State?
Boise. Like and what I didn't realize, and this is in high school, they
so you competed in a sport at Boise State?
No, it was actually like it was political science, essentially. So I didn't realize what it was when some teacher nominated me.
I don't realize what it is either. But go ahead.
You go to Boise State is like it's like young legislators, young wannabe politicians.
Sure.
So they go up and they form a government and they argue and they do this and they that. Well, I realized when I got there to Boise State in Sacramento, this is in '82-ish. I realized, oh my God, they're politicians. I can't spend a week with these people. They gave me the award for least participation.
The smartest politician, what they should have given you.
Oh, I found a way to get off campus every day on a bus. Well, there was a little of that going on too, but that was a different story. So, so we found the video of Kamala Harris a couple of places, obviously with talking points, and she's talking about, well, here's the question that this is on the Grio, on their YouTube channel. Here, listen to the question, and we'll...
support reparations for Black people.
Well, listen, again, we had over 200 years of slavery. We had Jim Crow for almost a century. We had legalized discrimination and segregation, and now we have segregation and discrimination.
She turned into Goat Boy. She continues.
Discrimination that is not legal but still exists and is a barrier to progress. We have disparities around housing. We have disparities around education. We have disparities.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Basically,
what's her answer? Well, no, that's just it, though. I will respect her if she has the confidence to say yes. I don't care. I don't want to agree with her views, but I respect her. She's going down that path. She's taking a very difficult question.
No, it's a simple question. Do you support reparations?
She hasn't answered yet.
No,
she hasn't answered yet.
See what she says next.
Disparities around income, and we have to recognize that everybody did not start out on an equal footing in this country.
And no one ever will.
No, that's absolutely true. And before we play there, here she is on the Breakfast Club with the kid. Is it Charlemagne? Yeah.
On a marijuana economy could be a form of reparations. Marianne Williamson says black people should get $100 billion in slavery reparations. Like, where do you stand on it?
Well, look, I think that we have got to address that. Again, it's back to the inequities. They're through, look, America has a history of 200 years of slavery.
When does it end? No,
Good
when
question.
does it end? How many more years in the future do they want? 10 years? And yes, I'll say they. And yes, you can take that how you want. Do you want 10 years? Do you want 50 years? Do you want another 200? At what point do you say, okay, now we feel comfortable enough to put it behind us? You don't hear the Jews complaining about, what was that little thing that they went through in the 40s? Was it where they were trying to be annihilated off this planet? I mean, literally wiped out. And then the Chinese, they went through something, I think, with the railroads, I think they were building. Yeah.
And look at all the laundries they own now.
Well, I don't hear anybody bitching about what they went through.
We had Jim Crow. We had legal segregation in America for a very long time. The Voting Rights Act was only strong for 50 years, and then they wiped it out with this United States Supreme Court in the Shelby decision.
So now we're oppressing the black vote. Back to the griot.
And in particular, black people have not. And so we have got to recognize that and do something about that and give folks a lift up. That's why, for example, I'm proposing the Lift Act.
Giving people a lift up, as you have seen how many people take advantage of a system once it's put into place, white, black, or indifferent. It doesn't make a difference. But if I can't pay my phone bill and I'm constantly coming to you, hey, can you borrow me $200 this month, $200 next month? And I should switch to Patriot Mobile.
The answer is no.
Right, well, no, wait a minute. What if you give it to me 3 months in a row, and then I go, screw this. I don't have to get a job. You're just going to keep paying my bill.
What do you give me in return?
Well, no, but you're doing it on the kind of scenario because you know things are difficult for me. You know that.
It's modern day slavery. It's called the money trap. There are people who work in places they don't want to be working because they make enough money that it's too hard to find a job that pays the same amount that they're making right there in a place that they hate to work. I know people like that today. It's the money trap. You have the same situation we have in the projects where you're paying these families to basically have more kids.
Everyone is a slave of something.
Yes. Until you decide you're throwing it all away and you're going to live off the land. So she continues, but basically on the griot here, she says,
give people who are making $100,000 or less as a family a tax credit, which will benefit and uplift 60% of black families who are in poverty.
So by default, it affects black families, but there's not a particular policy for African Americans.
Why can't you just say all families of
right? So why even
I'm
go
tired
down
of this?
Yes. Why, she's dancing on that razor's edge right there.
We don't have segregation, but all you have to do is to go to anything that's a positive nature. I saw a meme the other day. It talked about a young black couple who saved up enough money to buy a home, and now they have a block. Why can't it just be a young couple?
Young.
We are segregating
yellow,
ourselves.
Black, purple, brown, chartreuse, whatever color.
But no, if you look at the reality of who will benefit from certain policies, when you take into account that they're not starting at the same place and they're not starting on equal footing.
You see what she's doing? She's trying to play both sides of the fence.
You can't.
And she wants to say, yes, I support reparations.
Then say it.
Exactly.
Say it. There's nothing wrong with saying that. Take a strong stance. Any politician, and that's why Trump won. People are so tired of you tiptoeing around an issue. You want somebody with an unpopular position to say it. Doesn't mean they're not going to work with that. You can say, listen, I support reparations. I absolutely do think the black community is owed, but it doesn't mean I'm going to work any less for anybody else in there. This is my opinion.
Exactly. She continues on here.
It will directly benefit black children, black families, black homeowners, because the disparities are so significant. So if we focus on the specific issues that have resulted in the greatest disparities, and we understand that that's part of why we're doing it. Listen, the reality also is this. Any policy that will benefit black people will benefit all of society.
Why is that?
So again, yes, I want to benefit black people, but It'll also benefit okay, so why don't we just start with it benefits everybody? Why don't you come up with a plan that benefits, I don't know, everybody, since you're running for the president of the United States? Now, over on the Breakfast Club, she continued her ramblings.
To the point that 22 states immediately thereafter put in place laws that one court found were crafted with surgical precision to have black people not be able to vote. So we've got to recognize, back to that earlier point, people aren't starting out on the same base in terms of their ability to succeed. And so we have got to recognize that and give people a lift up. And there are a number of ways to do it. Part of my initiative, again, around the LIFT Act is that same point, lifting people up who are making less than $100,000 a year. An initiative that I have, it's called the LIFT Act, that is about lifting folks out of poverty.
Okay. So she basically she will not come straight out and say, yes, I support reparations. She dances all around it. She wants to say that, but she won't say it. She's got to walk. It's the Attorney General in Chicago not wanting to take on the Smollett case.
Kim Fox.
Because she is afraid that her peeps aren't going to like that. She's up there trying to prosecute.
She took on R. Kelly.
That's true. Well,
and the Attorney General in Illinois is she's a Madigan. She's Mike Madigan's daughter. But that's still crooked.
The R. Kelly thing has been going on so long. Everybody knows what he's been doing behind closed doors.
But why did they do it? Wait a minute. Why did they do it last week? Why did they do Jussie Smollett last week? Could it have been anything to do with there was an election yesterday for Chicago mayor?
Are you suggesting that these politicians are doing things to pander to their audience?
Laquan McDonald was the last time they had a distraction from mayor.
The second thing I must commend you on is uttering the name Dave Chappelle. Because Dave Chappelle, the Dave Chappelle show, God, that was funny. The fact that it went off the air is just tragic.
He mastered staying out on top and going out when he was at the highest position possible. He's a genius.
Now, this is the reparations bit he did on his show back in 2003. And this is Dave Chappelle's view of what would happen if, in fact, the government did decide, hey, we're gonna spew a whole lot of money out to the black folk. Dave Chappelle.
Our top story. As we all know, Congress recently approved paying over $1 trillion to African Americans as reparations for slavery. Well, today, the first checks were sent out.
Thanks, Chuck. We're standing here in front of the Olympic Liquor Store in Queens, where scores of African Americans have been lined up for hours. We spoke to a few of them earlier.
The money, y'all. There's poor people around.
Now, whoever put this together, they did it in bits and pieces, so I have to kind of fast forward here to the next part of Dave Chappelle in the reparations.
Do with $100 trillion of that.
These checks aren't just affecting things on Beach Street. Wall Street is having a big day as well.
A lot of activity, as you can imagine, here on the market. These people are spending money like hotcakes. Get this, Sprint stock has skyrocketed after the news that 2 million delinquent phone bills have been paid just this morning. Incredible. Gold is way up. Diamonds are at their most expensive level ever. Catchphrase around here is certainly bling bling. Oil has dropped to $1.50 a barrel, while chicken shot to $600 a bucket. Amazing news there. Just about everything on the market is up. However, watermelon is surprisingly flat to find many analysts out there. Cadillac announced that they sold 3 million Escalade trucks this afternoon alone. It's incredible, Chuck. These people just seem to be breaking their necks to give this money right back to us. Folks, I'm happy to report that the recession is now officially over, and we have nobody to thank but all these black people with their taste for expensive clothes, fancy cars, and, of course, gaudy jewelry.
Is that racist, or is it true?
That's Dave Chappelle saying it, not me, but it's funny. I'll tell you that. He concludes with a guy driving a truck here.
This truck straight cash. And I got enough cigarettes to last me and my family for the rest of our lives. I'm rich,
It's Ashy Larry. That was Ashy Larry.
That is hysterical. I miss Dave Chappelle. I really do. There's a second part to that, which we'll get to here in a second. But I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. Do you have a craving for sugar? You want some sugar?
I get cravings for pastry, donuts, anything sweet along the lines of that.
Having problems with your weight going up or down?
Oh, constantly. Up.
Upset stomach, maybe?
I got the bubbly guts. The mud butt.
How you
I got
sleeping?
the mud butt.
How you sleeping?
I'm not I get an hour here, roll over, stare at the phone for 3 hours, go back, get another half hour. I don't sleep much.
Here's the thing. The reason all of these things are happening to you is life.
Okay.
Life happens to be happening to you, but what it really could boil down to is all of those bad bacteria in your gut.
Well, what can I do about that, Uncle Brad?
I'm glad you asked, because there is a rather simple solution that could be absolutely right for you. These are signs of an unhealthy gut. When you have sleep disturbances or you've got a craving for sugar. Damn it, I hate you, sugar. I love you. I hate you. I love you. Sugar is a cruel mistress. If you've got unintentional weight changes or those sleep disturbances, or you're always tired, hello, skin irritations, autoimmune conditions, that's why Atrantil was created. It was actually created by a gastroenterologist. Dr. Ken was in here a few weeks ago talking to us about bad gut bacteria, which you would think would not be a fascinating conversation, but it actually is. You know, he had a colonoscopy done.
I heard that's an up-and-coming procedure.
Yeah, he said, here's the thing he said about that. You get the colonoscopy done, they catch it early. They cut those things out. I just still don't want to do it. But if you go to lovemytummy.com, you will find out more about Atrantil, and it is not a, first of all, it's not a probiotic. It's clinically proven, though, to target the problem bacteria in your gut. So if any of those things sounded familiar to you and you would like to maybe change some of those things in your life and lead a little bit better life, lead a happier life, go to lovemytummy.com. Support our sponsors, lovemytummy.com. All right, continuing on now with Dave Chappelle and his special report on reparations. This goes back to 2003, and he continued on in part 2.
With Chuck Taylor.
If you're just joining us, black people got their reparations checks today, and in short, all hell is broken loose. In sports, the Philadelphia 76ers took on the New York Knicks. But since none of the black players showed up, Todd McCullough ended up playing one-on-one with Travis Knight. McCullough had 75 points, beating Knight by 7. After the game, McCullough said that he was hurt that none of the black players showed up, but upbeat because he, quote, finally feels like he has a big penis. Welcome to the club, buddy. The Big Penis Club. Fortune magazine released their annual list of the 100 wealthiest people today, and Bill Gates has been overtaken. By whom, you ask? A Harlem resident named simply Tron. Our Stephanie Gold is standing by with him now.
So how did you become the world's wealthiest man, Tron?
Hot hand in a dice game, baby girl. 6 hours straight talking about clackety, clack. Now you're looking at the world's richest man, and I'm black. Kiss my black ass, America.
All right, well, I think what everyone wants to know now is what are you going to do with all this money?
I'm going to reinvest my money into the community.
Oh, that's a very nice gesture. What were you
Psych!
Okay. Is that your son?
No, I just bought this baby cash. No, straight up, though, I'm going to do the real thing and spend this money for y'all honkies. Change your minds.
On that note, Chuck, we're going to send it back to you in the studio now.
Hold up, Chuck. I got your girl. What do you say about a little lap dance for the world's richest man?
Oh, well, if you put it that way, Chuck, back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Stephanie. Another new.
Suck my
We seem to have lost the feed.
He was a genius.
Anyhow, here with the weather is our old pal, reliable, friendly, portly, Big Al.
Happy Reparations Day. Happy Juneteenth. Just kidding.
Al Roker's wearing a crown.
I don't know if you know this, but I just handed in my resignation here at New Center 3 hours ago. And I'll tell you something else you probably didn't know. And that is this. This is not my real speaking voice.
Actually, Chuck, this my real speaking voice. I talk like straight up gangster, bitch. That ain't Big Al. It's Alton Sim, okay?
Big Al, seriously, what's the forecast for the tri-state area?
Oh, I don't know, Chuck. Well, let me take a look at my tri-state area map, which looks a lot like my big fat ass. Here we have Connecticut. All the white folks drive down 95 and go straight into the Highland Tunnel. Uh-oh, look out. Here comes a big brown truck.
Oh, jeez.
My God, Big Al, it's disgusting.
I'm paid in shame.
Is that beatboxing?
You old pasty bastard. Look at you, Chuck. You look sick, man. You look like you just walked up from ground zero. This job sucks. Kiss the rings, bitch.
And that's it.
He was edgy.
This is Dave Chappelle from 2003.
He was edgy. He was ahead of his time.
He was edgy. He went crazy, didn't he?
No, that's what everyone wants you to think. He actually exposed Hollywood's. I don't think it was the Illuminati, but he talked about how Hollywood does run your life, and that's what they do is they discredit you and they labeled him as crazy. He's not crazy. He's a very, very, very intelligent man.
Are you suggesting that Hollywood has a hidden agenda?
Oh, absolutely, I do.
Wow, I'm stunned.
Child rape and brainwash.
What is the Twitterverse doing?
Says,
hashtag what I learned today.
Larky effing Farkin says, why don't these people who bitch about slavery that ended 100 years ago go after human traffickers, child slavers, and sex traffickers?
Yeah, we talked about that the other day. The fact that there is slavery in the world right now, and if in fact the whole Robert Kraft thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if that's sex slavery, good. I mean, that they're cracking down on that. That's fabulous. Let's think about the problems that we're having right now. I had a discussion years ago when we were doing stuff with HGTV over in Knoxville, Tennessee, which they don't want you to know they're there, by the way.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why, but it was one of our caterers. She's a black woman. I love her. But she and I got in a discussion one evening about reparations, and we deserve it. I said, okay, let me ask you this: do I owe you money for that? Well, no. I said, well, if the government owes you money for that, you're saying that I owe you money for that. Well, no, how? Because I'm paying taxes. Mm-hmm. So you're telling me I owe you for, well, no, that's not what I'm saying. Okay. Look, I get it.
I want a handout. God knows I want to hand out as much as possible because I don't want to work. I don't want to contribute. I want to sit on my ass and do nothing all day long.
I would love to do that. And I would be very, very good at it, by the way. I mean, not everybody's good at sitting on their ass and doing nothing.
It does get stressful.
Yes, it does. I mean, you got to think about getting up because here's the thing. If you're taking a nap on the couch and you think, I want a cookie, I'm kind of hungry, but I'm like almost dozing off. And if I get up, that's going to like kick me into a state of fully awake.
Then you won't want to take your nap.
Right. So I have to decide, shit, do I want to take that nap or do I want to have the cookie? I would like to have both, which means I'd need an assistant. I would need somebody to, I'd be standing right there and I'd say, you know what?
Can only have that if you get paid from reparations.
I'm sleepy and I need a cookie. Get me a cookie. No, get me 4. No, just bring me the box.
You need to become such a diva that we could just look in the glass and go, Isaac, get him a cookie. And he just
no, you don't even say, give me a cookie. You just say, Isaac.
Oh, he knows, and he knows.
Yes, and he right in. Yep. So again, being lazy and sitting on your ass is not for everybody. I don't recommend trying it. It is not an easy gig. You brought up Hollywood. Did you know that the Oscars had the highest audience numbers that they'd had in 5 years?
The audience, but as far as television wise,
it's still the biggest event on television, or one of the biggest events.
I think most of the people who tune in to get disgusted because they want to watch what is this idiot going to say. Mm-hmm. I mean, I did not watch, but I guiltily, YouTube wormhole was watching some of the clips last night. I think I watched the opening with Tina Fey and Maya Rudolph, and her mom was Minnie Riperton, by the way. Loving you is easy 'cause you're beautiful. Do, 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 do. That's right. But exactly.
You almost thought it was her, didn't you?
Exactly. But as soon as she said, we won't have any hosts tonight, we won't have any of this tonight, and Mexico's not paying for the wall, I went,
right, yes. Why in the hell? The 29.6 million people watched it, 12% up from last year. It's the first upswing since 2014. And a lot of people if they would just shut their pie holes.
Well, this is gold for them the last 2 years because they've had a president they can attack.
Yes,
this is they got to enjoy this for the next few years.
And we'll have some examples of the of Trump derangement syndrome coming up. That's why I had to run down to the truck and get the hat.
Oh,
it's funny. I've worn this into a couple places, and
this is Texas, though.
It is Texas, but you'd be stunned at the number of people. I had this is the MAGA hat because I have another hat that says "Make Texas." Let's see. Make Texas America again.
Yes, I've seen that.
And I've had people stop before they what's up? Oh, that's what that says. Okay. It's like they have to do a double take. Mm-hmm. But Matt Locke of the Conservative Cartel, he's like, man, I want to wear one of those hats I dare him to come up and say something.
Yeah, all friggin' 6'12" of them.
And I just, when I'm going into a store, the last thing I want, again, I hate politics. I didn't vote for the president. I support the president. Didn't vote for him. But it sure is kind of fun to watch the reaction.
I want no one to fail who's in a position to succeed. My home state, Illinois. Chicago had their election for mayor last night. The two people who are going to be in a runoff in April are both black women. And the comments who are online right now are people, even news agents are, yes, it looks like we're going to have a female in office. Okay, all right, here's the deal. I want whoever gets in that position to succeed. A, you didn't learn your lesson the first time by voting for a president based on the color of his skin, not his policies. And B, do you realize that Chicago is already on a downward spiral? And because you voted for, and I'm going to put a little caveat on this. I know we have some people who are not very pleased with my sexist views. I apologize, but no, I don't. I don't. I have no problem being a sexist pig who's going to die alone in a pool of his own urine, being found 3 weeks after I'm dead. I don't care.
That's okay.
Having no one ever to have loved me and seen me off into the golden sunset. But
I hope your Oscar speech is over soon, because I'm sorry, there's the music.
You're going to have to blame her for her failures on being a woman, too, when Chicago rots in hell.
Now you know what it's like to win an Academy Award. They never give you enough time.
And thanks to my mom.
Yeah. This is Doc Thompson's Daily Mojo.
Happily promoting the 4 F's: freedom, faith, free markets, and fun. MoJo 50.
I'm Mike Opelka from PureOpelka.com. Here's your 2-minute drill. Just before sunrise on the east coast of America, halfway around the world, President Donald Trump was getting a final briefing before his second summit was about to begin with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. A summit that was designed to remove the threat of nuclear war from the Korean Peninsula, from the entire Asian region, and maybe from the world. But what was the left side of the mainstream media talking about? Donald Trump and the anticipated testimony of convicted liar Michael Cohen. Cohen's statement to the congressional hearing that is going to be televised was published by the New York Times and virtually every other media outlet. And it calls the president a racist, a cheater, and a really bad duty head. No, it doesn't say duty head, but it might as well. Cohen's statements in advance of the hearing are being treated like something that the Pope has delivered to the faithful, something so holy that it can't be avoided or denied. And we all know that Michael Cohen is going to prison when all this is over. Prison for lying and cheating and being a weasel. So what's the end game here? Democrats want something from Cohen they can use to impeach the president and ideally remove him. In the least, they want his tax returns.
The president has no excuse not to make all his tax returns public. Yes. That's an obligation of every president.
Testudo, my friends. Testudo.
Mike Opelka's 2-minute drill is powered by MoJoWildRice.com. Their wild rice is a superfood, gluten, sodium, fat, and cholesterol-free, yet high in fiber, protein, zinc, phosphorus, and trace minerals. But you're going to love it because it's delicious. MoJoWildRice.com. MoJoWildRice.com.
The Daily Mojo.
In the infinite wisdom of Steve Martin,
here's a good idea. Have a point. It makes it so much more interesting for the listener.
Just saying. There was a guy that spent a lot of money in Greenville, South Carolina. A lot of money, $540. This guy forked out right on the spot. Here you go, take my money. $540. He bought 120 boxes of Girl Scout cookies
to shelter them.
Yeah,
yes.
He wanted that. They apparently it was raining. It was cold. These little Girl Scouts are standing out there shivering in the rain. Guy says, "Here, just take this. Give me all your cookies. Give me your cookies."
Right.
At least he paid for them.
Right.
And he absconded into the night.
He got some attention for it.
Yeah, but he did not get it. They didn't get his name.
No, but it was that he got some attention and got a photo or two, didn't he? Yeah, a little photo.
Yeah. Well, wait a second here.
And what's that thing in the Bible about be careful not to let your right hand know what your left hand is doing or something like that?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, there's that.
Right.
Here's the other side of that story.
Lay it on us, Uncle Brad.
They did get his name, 46-year-old Detrick Lee McGowan. He was arrested yesterday. on charges including conspiracy to distribute fentanyl and cocaine. He is the same man who, in fact, paid $540.
Well, shit.
The indictment issued last week for McGowan. He is known as FAT, F-A-T. He's one of several suspects in an ongoing drug investigation. So he's trying to do something nice, and yeah, that didn't work out so well for it. Didn't work out so well. Speaking of spending money, I thought this would be kind of a nice time to take a look at what the federal government is spending our tax dollars on. But who was it? Ron came in here earlier, and he said, how long does that the national debt clock take to turn over $1 trillion? I think about a year. I think, didn't they say it's going to turn over another trillion in a year? I mean, it's 22 trillion, 61 billion, 342 million, 490, 500, 510, 5,000.
No. That's they're going to change those numbers once the reparations are given back.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, where are we getting? Yeah. Where's the money coming from that we're giving for reparations?
Oh, it's on the side. They got a secret fund. You know that.
So the tax dollars that you and I are giving the government every year, at least they're spending it wisely. That's the beauty of all of this. I mean, they're spending it, on things like what we talked about yesterday, the George H.W. Bush commemorative coin. Although there's some talk about Bush math. There's somehow the Treasury can make money when they print money.
They can print it, but I don't think there's no gold to back the dollar.
Right, but there was some
that's been that way for years, hasn't it?
It's called seigniorage, and somehow if the coin takes less to cost than it takes to it's something crazy. It's some sort of fuzzy math that they figured out that the Treasury can actually make money and put it back into the blah blah blah.
Sure.
The government spent.
Keep printing it.
This was last year before. The Pentagon was. They spent $28 million on licensing fees for a green camo pattern for the Afghan National Army uniforms. The problem, and this is the green, the tropical-looking green camouflage. Trees, you can't see them, which is good.
I can't see.
Here's the problem: Afghanistan is 98% desert.
Sure.
So you put somebody in a green camo outfit, and yeah, they're gonna stick out like a sore thumb. $28 million. And if they were going to make alterations like swapping out the zippers for buttons, it would have saved the taxpayers $68 million.
Okay.
But they didn't. Here's a good one. This is actually for your health. They paid hipsters to stop smoking. The National Institute of Health figured that anti-smoking ads weren't quite hitting home with young adults. They decided to go straight to the source. Hipsters. It was called a project called the Commune Project.
What?
It was called the Commune Project.
Okay.
Commune.
Yeah. What that's a like if you and I start our own commune and we can have a harem of women, we could have impressionable young women
walk around with loincloths
and we will be served and serviced and worshipped.
Yes, we're sitting on the couch in the recliner.
Correct.
Not having to falling just almost I want a cookie. And then you
Brad, do you want a cookie?
See?
Yes, I do.
By the way, I shouldn't even have to ask.
No.
The cookie, I should think cookie, and the box should appear. Isaac, you taking notes?
You said box.
I did say box. Damn it. I've been Bell deficient. I apologize. I was just very excited about the whole
boxes are going to appear everywhere.
So they spent $5 million in federal cash on something called commune branded beer koozies and other swag, including smoke-free events featuring indie bands, artist-designed flyers, and a whole lot more. And then another initiative involved in that same project involved paying these people $100 to stop smoking. That's how important it was to get them to stop smoking. And the idea was that they would pay them to stop smoking, and then these people would go out and be ambassadors for not smoking.
Why would you want someone to stop smoking? What's the benefit for you? You and I started harem. No, you and I started harem. We got a commune. Okay, we got 50 Swedish, Polish, Russian supermodels.
Why only 50?
No, hang on, because that's what they're right now. Okay, the boat is on its way with the other half. All right. Yeah, and I get a little greedy, and you're smoking your vape, and you get a little. I'm like, you need to stop that. Why would I deprive myself of you just, hey, go out, man, kick the bucket, whatever. They're all mine now. I don't mind. What's my incentive to keep you healthy?
That's a good point. Well, it's the same, the inoculation argument.
Hey,
if my kids are inoculated, I don't care if yours are. Yours are the one's going to die. The government spent at least $518,000 in federal grants to study how cocaine affects the sexual behavior of Japanese quails.
What? Where does that money come from? 518 million. You said
they keep the 518,000 in this case.
Okay, so $500,000.
Right.
$518,000. How many people can that feed? How much infrastructure can that? And which government is studying that?
That'd be the U.S. government.
Okay, our government is studying. Wow, we are stupid.
Well, it's a good reason, though. You didn't even ask me why.
Why, Uncle Brad?
They were trying to look at how cocaine abuse affects risky sexual behaviors in humans.
We know it does. You put a lampshade on, you have a rubber chicken in your arm, and you walk around wanting to hump your best friend for 3 hours, even though he's a dude.
You say that like it's a bad thing.
It's not Friday yet.
Okay. The next thing they, and this actually is, I can understand why they did this, because it makes complete sense. For more than 20 years, Northwestern University researchers received...
out by me.
You're going to love this then. They received National Institutes of Health money to watch something occur. They were fights that they were staging. The project, more than $3 million over the course of it, and almost $500,000 in 2015 alone. Hamster fights. Hamsters fighting. The experiments involved injecting hamsters with steroids, then putting another hamster in the cage to see if the drugged hamster...
How does testosterone affect rodents?
Well, how the hell should I know if we don't do the study? Jeez, you are so narrow-minded. Yeah. Others investigated whether becoming a trained fighter through 2 weeks of face-offs made the critters more aggressive. The experiment stopped after PETA got involved.
Oh, thank God for PETA.
So this is one time when...
Thank God. They're here. PETA's here.
PETA.
PETA's here.
They spent, this is great because this is ongoing. This doesn't even stop. $1.7 billion every year the government is spending. And this is good because this is on maintenance and upkeep of 770,000 unused and underused buildings nationwide. The government owns these buildings. And they just sit there. There's nothing in them.
They get tax breaks on them or something?
Well, it's the government. So
okay. They get tax breaks to themselves.
It's like
what are they storing in there?
Like
they're black ops where you sweep people up and put them in hoods and throw them in the back of a van, and then this is where you interrogate them? Is that what you want them? I'm okay with that.
I've seen the documentary 24.
It's okay.
Of course, even though these buildings are empty, they still have basic needs, as most humans do, like power, a mowed lawn, pipes that don't freeze.
Sure.
So only $1.7 billion every year. I don't think that's asking too much. Have you seen what happens to a building if it sits there and no one pays attention to it?
Yeah, I live in the Chicago area. You drive down any street in the city and you can see what happens. It's how it is.
See, this is basically what AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, is.
She's so hot.
She wants to upgrade every building. So these buildings would have to be upgraded as part of the Green New Deal plan.
Love her. I love her. I alone know her pleasure. I alone feel her pain. She is my torture.
Just don't marry her.
Oh, I would not.
$1 million a year
Yeah.
could be saved if they simply stopped printing the Federal Register every day. They print the Federal Register every day. And this is where every time a decision is made in government, I guess by the president or Congress, it has to go into the ledger just so we have a record of what happens. They print a copy of this thing every day for every member of Congress, even though you can get the contents right there online and download them as a PDF.
This just in while you're on this kick.
I'm just looking at ways
the U.S. will pay $2.6 million to train Chinese prostitutes to drink responsibly on the job.
Well, of course you don't want. How do you want a prostitute that is so stinking drunk they don't know what they're doing with their hands?
Previous studies in Asia and Africa and our own data from the female sex workers in China suggest that the socially norms and institutional policies within commercial sex venues, as well as overseeing agents, gatekeepers. These are people who they need to be apparently monitored properly.
Well, of course they do. If they're going to be prostitutes, we need to make sure that they are doing it properly, especially if they're in China. And,
do you think it's same as? Do you think it's $20 same as downtown there?
Absolutely possible. Do you know, by the way, the
20 yen,
50 billion,
yeah,
fat cells in the typical adult body.
50 you haven't seen me naked.
Billion.
All right.
Of course, we all need fat to live.
Sure.
Sometimes you probably, have more than you need. You don't need all those fat cells. Nobody needs all those fat cells. By the way, that's more than people on the earth in every human body.
Sorry.
The average human stores about 100,000 calories of body fat. I mean, if this all sounds a little disgusting to you.
No, it isn't. What year? Do you remember the decade at least that Richard Gere and the Gerbil story came out?
That would have been, what, 70s or 80s?
And it's still, the jackholes are putting Richard Gere and Gerbil up due to your testosterone hamsters up there. Could you imagine your legacy? He's a damn good actor. I'm not gay. He's a good-looking man.
He's a good-looking man.
Yes, you beat me to that one. He's a good-looking man, clean-shaven, and it's like,
at least his face
you're the guy. Didn't you have something in your butt like an animal years ago?
Right. Now, there's no evidence that it was a hamster injected with steroids. No. But if you want to do something about all those 50 billion fat cells, and you want to get rid of, technically you don't get rid of your fat cells, you just shrink them.
What can they do, Uncle Brad?
They can go to riduzone.com. I'm glad you asked. Riduzone.com is, it contains something called OEA that fights food cravings and fights a slow metabolism. As you get older, of course, you start to drag ass every day. And it just gets worse. But when you take Riduzone, this can actually help you if you are in the mindset to trim things up, to look a little better for yourself. If you walk by the mirror and you go, especially if you're naked, you go, wow, I used to be able to see that, and now I can't. Oh, there it is. Whatever that might be. Riduzone.com. It'll help you support a healthy weight. It's not a magic bullet. There's no such thing. There's no pill you can take ever. I'm telling you, and I've looked. There's nothing you can take that will magically make the pound just go boop and be gone. You have to do the right thing. Of course, lead a healthy lifestyle. We'll talk about it a little bit later. But
why? What's the point?
We're all going to die anyway. But if you want to die a thinner person, riduzone.com, R-I-D-U, zone.com. As we continue on now with the ways the federal government is actually wisely spending your money. This has been just a few years ago, but the Institute of Museum and Library Services. Did you know we had an Institute of Museum and Library Services?
That sounds like an agency that's going to be affected by a government shutdown.
Yeah, that would be one of those I would think that I'd maybe.
So that means I don't care about them. Ask me the last time I went to. Now I am a big fan. I'm a big fan of the Shedd Aquarium in Chicago. I'm a big fan of the Field Museum. It's one of my favorite places on this earth. I have not been in a library in decades.
Well, this is the Institute of Museum and Library Services. They gave the University of California at Santa Cruz $615,000 to digitize its collection of T-shirts, photos, and tickets from the Grateful Dead.
$615,000 to take photographs, to digitize, to transfer.
No, we don't take pictures. We digitize.
To transfer from 3D applicable, I can touch it, to putting it into a context where you could view it online.
Absolutely.
When I could take that same crap and take a photo on my iPhone and send it to them.
Right, you could share it on Facebook. Same kind of.
Grateful Dead.
Yeah, and
Garcia's been dead for 30 years. 30 years.
But he lives on in ice cream. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. This is from a few years back. The report from the Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration. The Treasury Inspector General for Tax Administration.
Another fantastic made-up position.
How does that look on a business card?
And running for office kind of taught me a little bit about this thing. This is what happens when we as people, and this is funny, I'm laughing my ass off at this, whatever, but it's also because we're commenting on Twitter today, The jackholes are saying that you and I are salty, and a little bit. But these made-up positions that we don't pay attention to. Oh, no, is it salty or what is it? Savory or sweet?
See,
Your MoJo Wild Rice.
I'm a mixture, both.
The positions you can make up for people is amazing, and you just slide them $110,000 a year. It's like you are the new inspector of what was it in the school? You want to be a female bra inspector?
Yes.
Yes, I want to be an FBI female bra
body
inspector. That's it too.
So
you just make that up.
So this guy, the treasurer, I'm assuming it's a guy, maybe a woman, maybe a woman who identifies as a man, or maybe a man who identifies as a woman. I apologize in advance if I have offended the Treasury Inspector
I don't apologize.
General for tax administration. They found out after accounting for the items that had been used within a year and a half, the IRS spent almost $1 million in unnecessary warehouse space every year just to store papers. These probably are copies of the same papers that you sent them, so they exist somewhere already, but they spent almost $1 million of your tax dollars to store boxes of paper.
You said box.
That's true. I did say box. Here's one I can get behind as well. The International House of Pancakes. They actually, which for what was it, about a week and a half was IHOB.
Yeah, something like that. Illinois House of Breakfast.
That pissed me off. They played with our emotions. That's all they did.
They got good food.
Yeah, they do.
I like breakfast food.
Such good food that they received a U.S. Department of Health and Human Services grant of $500,000 to help build an IHOP in D.C. So that the folks in a neighborhood who weren't actually able to get jobs would have jobs. So 70 full-time jobs for $500,000.
So, okay, that does, in theory, sound fantastic because the restaurant's about $1 million. So you gave this restaurant, which doesn't make sense to me because it's IHOP and they can afford to. If you're going to give them $500,000 in tax breaks, sure. But if you're just going to give them $500,000,
they got a grant
here. Let's build a restaurant in Washington D.C. Let's employ people. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that if that's what that was.
Good. Well, they said that it was to create 70 new full-time jobs for low-income workers who qualified for government financial assistance.
I'm okay with that.
Good.
There's got to be a catch.
I'm sure there is.
Okay.
I'm sure I don't know what the catch is, but I'm
XDM on Twitter. I just realized I haven't asked Ransom Izzo the most important question: Cubs or socks? Socks for parking, Cubs for the women.
Fun fact: speaking of socks, Doc was buried in only socks, or excuse me, cremated in only socks. Wasn't wearing shoes. Guy never wore shoes. Just holy socks.
Interesting.
Last year, the year before, it was a 2017 Super Bowl. They bought an ad. The U.S. Census Bureau bought an ad. I guess this was a few years before that. In 2010, still your money. In 2010, they spent $2.5 million in taxpayer money to run a 30-second commercial. They argued that for every 1% increase in mail-in responses it received, it would save $85 million sending workers door to door to collect information.
Oh, God. Percentage on commercials is pretty low. It's like any other advertising. You get like a maximum 3% return on your investment. How much did they spend?
They spent $2.5 million on
did you say
30-second ad.
Did I hear you as a Super Bowl commercial?
Super Bowl ad.
So they weren't paying attention?
No.
And what was their expectation on what they were tracking?
If, in fact, the people would just simply send it, I guess it was a reminder because they were sending out the census information and stuff in the mail.
Oh,
so it was a reminder.
God!
Just fill it out, send it in.
Bradley, it's the Super Bowl, and the Chargers are winning. Did you get the census done, sweetie?
You were supposed to fill it out. Did you not? You'll never get off the couch. You're napping again. Get those damn cookies out of your mouth.
Are those food Italian?
I'm
going to be laughing about that for a month.
The National Comedy Center in Jamestown, New York. That's a funny place to go.
They had a massacre there. Jamestown didn't have the massacre. Or is that the Kool-Aid?
That'd be Jonestown.
Oh, Jonestown.
That was
Thank you.
in Ghana.
Thank
You're
you.
close, though.
I tried.
New York, Ghana, very close.
Gonorrhea?
That too. No, that's over in Fort Worth.
They have. So
have you not seen the billboards for syphilis?
Don't go cruising there for hookers.
Whatever it is that's happening in Fort Worth, I don't want to know because there are constantly billboards for gonorrhea and syphilis as you drive out of town. So,
all right.
Isaac's in there shaking his head, nodding up and down. What you know about the gonorrhea and the syphilis in Fort Worth?
I saw some billboards.
Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that the weirdest thing?
Yeah, I was like,
it's like syphilis, but friends take friends to the STD clinic to find out they have syphilis.
That's a big red flag right there.
Yeah, and the ad that's up there on that, and it's the same billboard. They just keep changing this stuff out. The one that's up there for right now is for condoms. I don't know.
Who uses them?
Who uses? Yeah.
Well, apparently they want you to use them in Fort Worth.
No.
Just don't throw them in the parking lot.
Shit in one hand and want in another. See which gets filled first.
Mm-hmm. So the National Comedy Center in Jamestown, New York, they received $3.5 million from the state of New York, plus another $1.7 in federal money because they wanted to take a look back at influential comedians and create holograms of them.
Oh my God. George Carlin better be on that list.
Jamestown, Lucille Ball, they said would be among the comics brought back to life through the holograms. So those are just a few of the wise ways that the federal government and even state government in some cases.
What happens if they don't spend that money? That's my only question. You have to make up stupid causes to spend your money, or what?
Yes.
So if ultimately we have a national debt because we didn't pay the money we owed back from 1778 or whatnot and accumulated over the years, and does that mean that some British friggin' banker who works for the Queen says, just let you know, if you don't return this money, we're going to come back and they're going to do whatever. So we have to say, hey, we got $250 million that we have to spend, or those cranks over in England are going to come back and they're going to be looking to get the money back. It's not like we can't wipe Britain off the planet.
Right.
It's not like we can't wipe.
We kicked their ass in the war.
I'm sorry. Who else is going to come for us? Nobody. It's our money. Stop paying the debt back. Screw it. Everybody stop paying your taxes today. Stop paying your taxes.
That's a great idea until you become the one that they target and haul off to jail.
Then I'm going to sit in my jail cell like everybody else. I'm going to get my doctorate. I'm going to become Dr. Dominic Izzo. I'm going to go out there and say, reparations for us taxpayers.
3 hots in a cot.
I want.
All you need.
You got an MLK drive in every city town. I want a DI drive in every town.
I think this calls
Izzo
for
Avenue.
A little vintage Doc Thompson from the days up at Magic, and I'll let them explain what
I hope he makes more sense than I ever do.
Well, we'll find out.
Sure does.
Lanigan, Webster, and Malone. WMJI.
It seems like there's always one section Jimmy always gives me to do. This is called for members only.
And now, our first story. You dirty dog.
Got him again, huh?
You dirty rat. See, Malone hands these out.
Jim, do you pay any attention to who gets what?
No,
I
just, randomly. A man whose penis was severed has recanted his claim that he was attacked by an enraged hooker and now said he injured himself by accident, according to police Wednesday.
See?
The missing member was recovered Tuesday in a plastic food container in the man's kitchen. Too late to be reattached, according to Detective Frank Greco. Domingo Morales, 67, told the police on Monday he had sex with a prostitute in his apartment and that she attacked him after he told her he had no moolah. The retired truck driver later told investigators he made up the story out of fear that he'd be committed to a mental institution. He stated that he makes guitars in his tiny apartment and that he has the neck of a guitar between his legs and he is working on it with a knife. The knife slipped off the guitar and severed off part of the man's penis.
Oh, my. Yeah.
After it happened, he got so excited that he doesn't even remember putting it in the Tupperware.
There are so many uses for Tupperware.
Morales was hospitalized in stable condition Wednesday. Greco said police consider the case closed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just like,
I guess so.
I wonder if he burped the Tupperware first.
What the hell are you doing with a guitar between your legs that if your knife slips you can cut your penis off?
Well, yeah.
Wouldn't the clothing stop that?
No.
Well, it didn't. MoJo 50.
How bad would that suck if you did that and then, like you said, they found it too late to reattach
Silver
it?
lining. Silver lining.
What's the
Could
silver
you
lining?
imagine you are no longer led around by that 12 inches of vindictive jagoff between your legs, and no woman ever has power over you again. She'd be like, baby.
Oh, I don't think it works that way.
Oh, I do.
I don't think
I do.
No, I think it's like when you're in war and you get like part of your arm or leg chopped out. You still feel it. It's phantom pain.
I am telling you. I'm thinking it's just like, hey, now what?
We could try a little experiment.
No, it's like,
if you want to volunteer for, we can find out if you get like phantom.
That's a phantom pain. I get now. You know, mine's in the other room with the control booth, so it's okay.
Mine's at home in the freezer.
There you go.
I mean, you know, that's Isaac. Yours is okay.
My what?
Yeah, we had a guess.
So, yeah, just checking. I think that made Isaac a little uncomfortable when I asked him that.
Like boobs. I just think that it's you have to find a silver lining in everything. And the guy was probably drugged out of his mind, and now all of a sudden it's like he will never be owned by a woman again.
Boy, I'd hope it's that way. George Baker found a silver lining.
Who's George Baker?
George Baker lives in Maryland, and
why?
He just won $10,002 from the state lottery's Keno game. $10,000. That's not bad. $10,002.
What kind of a game is Keno?
Isn't that where you pick all the little numbers and the balls come out, and there was that bingo? I didn't Keno kind of the same thing.
Sounds like Friday night.
Isn't Keno? It's a typical Tuesday. Isn't Keno like bingo on steroids?
I couldn't tell you. Couldn't tell you.
This was actually his third jackpot.
Okay, so he's cheating.
He's played 7-spot Keno. He played it Saturday night and didn't check his ticket until he visited the grocery store the next day. He didn't. He said he had to check the ticket 3 times to make sure it was real. I was shocked and surprised. That's why I checked a third time. His third time of winning over $10,000. He said he plans to share some of the money with his wife of 40 years.
Give her an allowance. All right, here's the deal. I'm going to buy you a new bread maker, so for my sandwiches.
He's going to share, meaning he's going to hand her the check and ask him if he can have an allowance.
No. I have faith that he's a man of today's millennial, and he's like, man, you know what? Let me explain something to you. I brought home the bacon. You will take those shoes off and get in that apron and get in the kitchen.
And somebody still has to make the sandwiches. I'm just saying.
The women.
Right. So if he hands her the 10 grand, she better be making the sandwiches still.
That's right.
Just a thought. Some people are lucky, and then there's us. This is your Daily Mojo. Headlines coming up next.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. MoJo 50.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. President Trump in Hanoi.
Well, I want to just say it's an honor to be with Chairman Kim. It's an honor to be together.
The president during a photo op with North Korea's Kim Jong-un, the two leaders fielding questions from reporters before dining together. Still to come, the formal talks that will take place tomorrow. And the president is holding up Vietnam as an example of what North Korea could become if it would give up its nukes.
Tweeting from Hanoi, the site of his second summit with Kim Jong-un, the president said that North Korea would be the same as Vietnam if it would denuclearize. Mr. Trump went on to say that North Korea's potential is awesome. In a second tweet, the president faulted previous administrations for inaction on North Korea and said Democrats should stop telling him what to do.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston. Former Trump attorney Michael Cohen will be going public today with his version of his years working as Mr. Trump's so-called fixer.
Today's public appearance sandwiched in between 2 days of closed-door hearings before congressional committees. Cohen's attorney says he's prepared to document incidents of alleged wrongdoing by Mr. Trump, both before and after he took office. Meanwhile, Republicans will be attacking Cohen as an unreliable witness who's headed to prison for lying to Congress 2 years ago.
That's Capitol Hill correspondent Molly Hines. New York's busy Long Island Railroad predicting heavy delays all day after a car was hit by 2 commuter trains last evening in Westbury. Happened at a gated crossing. Police say the car drove around the gates trying to beat the trains. 3 people in the car were killed. Minor injuries suffered by 7 people on one of the trains. On Wall Street this morning, stock futures pointing to a lower open later on. Right now, Dow futures down about 54 points. S&P futures 5 points lower. NASDAQ futures 14 points in the red. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hey guys, Ron Phillips with the Conservative Cartel. Are you tired of the bar scene, hoping to find the love of your life? Well, there is a better way for you single guys and ladies out there. Check out wethepeople.dating. They make it easy to find a liberty-minded match, and it takes less than a minute to create a free account and begin browsing through over 11 million monthly subscribers. Look, we all know the success of a relationship hinges on the core shared values of a couple. So check out wethepeople.dating for the love of people and people of love. Sign up and start dating today. Wethepeople.dating. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of a partner.
If you're tired of being fat, that's the simplest way I can put it, try Riduzone. It's not magic, it's science. It's a simple way to help keep yourself from overeating. Go to Riduzone. That's Riduzone.com.
A former Democratic National Committee member told Politico on Monday that he will become National Senior Advisor to the Draft Beto campaign. That sounds like a horrible beer, probably a Pilsner.
The Defenders with Stephen Airy, tonight at 9.
MoJo 50.
Wow. Hey, guys, Ron Phillips from the Conservative Cartel. I want to tell you about a new weight loss product that's quickly becoming part of our MoJo 50 family. Okay, so it was launched by this Texas company who have taken the good stuff in olive oil and created a patented product that helps people control their appetite and lose weight. That's right. It's also a big help to keep the weight off. In a 6-year study of former contestants from The Biggest Loser, you remember that show? It showed that when you lose weight, your body actually thinks something bad has happened and it fights back by slowing your metabolism and boosting your appetite. Riduzone, that's R-I-D-U zone, contains a patented ingredient that has been shown to boost metabolism and reduce appetite while helping you burn fat. If you are struggling every day with cravings, try Riduzone. It makes it so much easier to control your appetite and not think about food all day. That's my problem. For a short time, we have a 30% off deal for our show. Just go to Riduzone.com and enter code MATT. That's M-A-T-T. Again, that's Riduzone.com. R-I-D-U-Z-O-N-E.com. Riduzone.
If we weren't so bad.
To puppy rape.
I like to cuss.
Do I want to keep my penis?
Cat wants some black titties.
We wouldn't be so good. MoJo 50.
The mothership has landed.
I certainly can't see this from there with my glasses. What does it say on the Twitter? Izzo's penis tweeted, Real Brad Staggs, if you think I'm going to volunteer for this experiment, go F yourself. Rancid Izzo, you believe all of the urges will disappear just because I'm gone. You are forgetting about some of those rumors generating, hormone-generating organs that you have. It's not my fault. See, you'd still have, if you, and we're referring to the guy who was trying to clean his guitar, tune his guitar, and ended up slicing off half of his junk.
Was that Beatles song, while my guitar slowly weeps?
Right. Yes. Exactly. That's, I'm not sure the, right. So apparently a big thing on the, speaking of small things,
contrary to what the
grapes,
jackals think.
There is this YouTube thing going on.
Which you're obsessed with this morning.
I don't know why. And I found this, I was looking at a Real Science, I think is the name of the website. And it said, scientists have just figured out why grapes spark in a microwave. And the grapes don't spark in a microwave. So I did what any person with too much time on their hands does. I took a grape and I put it in the microwave. Yeah, I did.
Oh, wait a minute. That was your video. I thought you found that on YouTube.
No, this is my video. So if you're watching on Facebook and YouTube, you can see this. Otherwise, we will describe it to you. Go ahead and you can take is my computer running? My computer's not running. Oh, hang on a second.
You better go catch it.
I have to start this little program that we have that makes sure that here we go. Sorry, my bad, folks. My bad. There, we there yet? Ta-da! We're there. All right. So go ahead and take this video full here, and this is me putting a grape, which I've cut in half lengthwise, or excuse me, across side to side, but left a little skin touching.
Your microwave is clean.
Yeah, it's not that good.
Wow, that's pretty impressive.
So I put it in there, and I think I had 30 seconds on it. And then watch what happens in the microwave. You see all of a sudden, woo! It's like fast. Sparks happening right there in the microwave. If you didn't see it, I'll do it one more time because you can actually hear it as it does it too. That's plasma. That's plasma generated by a grape cut in half and put in the microwave. And apparently there are a bunch of these videos online. You can go ahead and kill that there, Isaac. Apparently this is an online phenomenon now, that there are a lot of people doing this. And the scientists have finally figured out exactly what it is that that makes it happen.
What is it, Uncle Brad?
Science, bitches.
There you go.
That's it.
There you go.
That's the whole reason that happens right there. Science, bitches. I think we just go ahead and do our headlines now. I think it's probably a very good idea that we just move right on.
We've scoured news platforms and agencies around the globe for today's most profound news headlines. Presenting them now, here's Brad Staggs.
Don't lay that mic, baby.
No, I'm not Brad Staggs.
Not
Shut
me.
your faces. All right, gang. These are your headlines. Well, today's Wednesday, February 27th. It's the year of our Lord 2019. And for those of you playing the home edition, what you do there is I'm going to read you some headlines. And one of these headlines, one of these stories is not true. It's fake. It's absolutely fake. What you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and tweet out on Twitter with the hashtag What I Learned Today which one you think is the fake one.
Sounds easy enough.
Sure.
Sounds very easy.
You're going to guess.
Uh-huh.
The two gents behind the glass are going to guess.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to sit here already knowing the answer.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Ready.
These stories are in no particular order and of no particular relevancy to my life whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
GOP candidate wants to be called Trump on the ballot, but a judge says no. After a judge ruled a Republican candidate for Kentucky's Secretary of State isn't allowed to use the nickname Trump, or as he originally wanted it, Trump, including the exclamation mark, so it says Trump with an exclamation mark, when he appeared in a statewide ballot. According to the judge's ruling, Carl Nett requested to use the word Trump, exclamation point included, nickname while he filled out his candidacy for November 18th. That was his last election. Now, you know people do that because it's name recognition.
Sure.
The Eddie
Absolutely,
Murphy
yes.
video.
Yeah.
Remember? Or the Eddie Murphy video.
You go in and on a ballot, you go, okay, I know that name.
Johnson, the name you know.
Yeah. Right.
He said it was a bona fide nickname local Republicans gave him after he insisted on displaying material supporting Donald Trump's presidential candidacy at the Kentucky State Fair. The election director told him that points are not allowed on the ballot for nicknames, so he crossed it out and settled for Trump.
Not a bad idea, actually. It's kind of smart.
I don't know. Nett is one of 4 Republicans running for a primary Secretary of State and the position that he oversees in Kentucky's elections. He told CBS News that he plans to appeal the decision, though he's not sure if he'd go by Trump if he gets elected. He also denied any expected advantage with the race, considering that it's a presidential nickname.
All right. So he just decided, okay, it kind of makes sense. All right. Whatever.
All right, human foot found on the Canadian coastline. It's the 15th.
Another one?
It's the 15th since 2007. At least 15 human feet have been found along the shores of the Canadian province over the last 12 years, according to a government new release study. One was recently discovered in a shoe in West Vancouver in September.
Well, you're not going to discover it in a hat. That would be stupid.
I'm visualizing that. I don't. It's cold. It's cold.
Might find it in someone's ass, but you certainly would in a shoe is the next best. Yeah.
I get some jackholes who deserve a foot up there. Now, the Coroner's Service of British Columbia is seeking the public's help in determining who the foot belongs to. The government office, which investigates deaths in the Western Canadian province, said it belongs to a male believed to be younger than 50. Doc?
Must be your feet.
Could it have made it all the way up there?
Could have been.
It's one hell of a trajectory off the train.
That is.
This is the 15th human foot found on the British Columbia shoreline since August of 2007, the Coroner Service said. The agency said this foot was a size 9.5 and a light gray
It'd be a 9.5 to the rest of us.
Shoe. Yes. I'm reading that verbatim.
It's quite a feat.
I see what you did there.
Thank you.
I see what you did there. One thing that we know is these feet that are around, they're not linked to any sort of suspicious circumstances, the coroner said. I want to make it clear that this is not a cause for panic.
Well, but if you're in defeat, it's a really cool place to be right now. Just saying.
Moving right along, Mike Pence criticizes Venezuela's use of torture, starvation on non-homosexual citizens. Condemning the Maduro regime for attempting to silence and eliminating an entire group of people, Vice President Pence issued a statement Monday attacking the Venezuelan government's use of torture and starvation on non-homosexual citizens.
So just on people who are heterosexual?
We're going to keep going. I didn't read these. I just report them. Right. Across Venezuela, people are being kidnapped, tortured, and isolated from their families, and it's completely unacceptable for any nation to treat straight citizens like this, Pence said. Promising that the United States will continue to fight for democracy and the fundamental right of every human of non-gay Venezuelan descent. Nobody who's attracted to the opposite sex should ever have to endure pain and oppression that the Venezuelan people have suffered. To see these gangs of violent thugs attacking a straight person in the street is pure outrage. We want the world to know we stand with the heterosexual people of Venezuela, Pence said.
Okay.
Oh, where was this in 2015 for me? This zoo named a cockroach after your ex, then fed it to a meerkat on Valentine's Day.
Wait, what?
Looking to get yourself a present this Valentine's Day? Well, just pass, but it is what it is. The El Paso Zoo has covered, it will name a cockroach after your ex.
Oh, I thought you said cut something off and feed it to a cockroach. That'd be different.
We're still at the last story.
No, sorry.
It will name a cockroach after your ex. Excuse me. And then feed it to a meerkat live on camera. You can message the zoo on Facebook with your ex's name, and then wait patiently for February 14th to watch the roach get fed, get devoured during the Quit Bugging Me Meerkat event, which will stream live on Facebook.
Shut up and take my money.
Oh, I know.
Wow.
The meerkats love to get cockroaches as a snack, and what better way to celebrate Valentine's Day than by feeding them a cockroach named after your ex. The El Paso Zoo isn't the only one offering the non-traditional Valentine's Day promotion. The Helmsley Conservative Center in Kent, England, will name a cockroach after your ex in exchange for donation. You can also name a roach at the Bronx Zoo, which calls them eternal and timeless gifts.
Yeah, I mean, it's a gift that keeps on giving. Over and over.
Elgin Police Department. Good morning, Matt. Elgin,
Matt Block, ladies and gentlemen.
He's a big mother effer.
Yes, he is.
Elgin Police Department. Excuse me, not Elgin. Illinois. I live near Elgin in Illinois.
Same thing.
It's okay. Illinois Police Department shares a photo of Frozen's Elsa under arrest for bringing the polar vortex. An Illinois Police Department took to social media Tuesday to share photos of a high-profile arrest. Elsa, the Queen of Arendelle from the Disney movie Frozen. The McLean Police Department shared an arrest on its Facebook page Tuesday, writing, "Due to the extreme cold weather, all criminal activities and acts of stupidity and foolishness have been canceled. Even Elsa has been placed under arrest with a no bond until further notice." Record-shattering temperatures will sweep wide swath of the U.S. On Wednesday because of a polar vortex, and Chicago is expected to be colder than any at the base camp of Mount Everest. Colder than the base camp of Mount Everest, with temperatures expected to plunge to 21 degrees below zero. It will feel like 48 below zero with a wind chill.
It's
a story about my ex. It's a story about my ex. She's a cold bitch. Burger King, as we were moving right along. Burger King accused of reneging on the lifetime meals to a man stuck in the bathroom.
Wait, what?
Let's find out. A Burger King customer is suing the fast food chain for allegedly reneging on his promise of a lifetime supply of free meals to compensate for enduring more than an hour locked in a foul-smelling bathroom. He was in it after me, apparently. I warned Ron this morning, do not go in there. Atron Teal is working. After finding himself trapped inside of a bathroom at a Burger King in Portland, Oregon, why would you be in Oregon in the first place? Ugh. In mid-December, Curtis Bruner used his cell phone to call the workers at the fast food restaurant for help, according to the lawsuit that was filed. The workers responded by pushing a fly swatter under the door and directing Bruner to use it to unjam the door's lock. Bruner could hear Burger King employees and customers laughing while he remained locked inside of the bathroom for well over an hour before a lock finally came and broke him out. The verbal agreement reportedly remained in play for 13 consecutive days, but then came to an abrupt end on December 28th when he was told by a district manager that they had nixed the endless freebies. Bruner is seeking $9,026 in damages, which estimated a cost of eating one $7.89 Whopper meal for a week for the next 22 years.
That's a lot of Whoppers.
Dude, I'm all over
a lot of Whoppers. I like a good
Whopper. I do like a good Whopper.
I enjoy a good Whopper.
Flamethrower.
Yeah.
Gay Penguin couple hatches an egg and welcomes their first baby.
That's nice.
No,
I'm not sure how they determined if the penguins were gay. But
Two penguins that form the same-sex bond that Sea Life Sydney Aquarium have attached their first egg, the BBC reports. Sven and Magic gained worldwide attention earlier this month when it was reported that the pair was expecting. Sven and Magic, or Svenjic. Oh, how cute.
Do you know how you tell which one is Sven? You go, hey, Sven, and whichever one walks this way, that's Sven. Because otherwise they look alike. All of them.
Or Svenjic, as they're called, became close during breeding season. Maybe they just couldn't find females and they bundled up. And started to collect pebbles together to create a nest. The two male Gen 2 penguins were given a dummy egg to pretend and taken care of. After showing the aquarium staff how committed they were to the egg, the aquarium staff decided to do something special for the penguins and give them a real one.
Wait, they gave them a fake egg to test their commitment?
It's like a blow-up doll. You want to see whether or not that you're going to be a good man, and then you give the guy your real daughter.
You think they knew that there was a fake egg to start with?
I don't know.
Just asking.
Sven and Magic put their Pebbles nest to work and began incubating the egg. Like most penguin couples, the two swapped duties daily. While one penguin was incubating the egg, the other was on patrols of the perimeter of the nest to ward off danger. On Friday, the egg hatched and the baby penguin was born. That's one confused baby.
It looks fabulous.
And now the baby is given his two dads. I saw a meme. You guys, this is behind the third wall in the meme MeWe chat room. There was a meme put up the other day.
You mean the fourth wall?
Yes, that too. Well, this is the third one. We only have three.
Third wall is the one over there.
Right, but
you.
that's fine.
Yeah.
My two dads gave me AIDS on MeWe chat room. And the kid was in a dog collar and a leash. Oh, I love that jackal who put that up there. The baby was given its two dads, celebrity couple's names Svenjic, and for now it will live in the pebble nest that its dad's built, the BBC reports.
Pebble nest, okay.
Too true.
Okay.
I think we got... that's it. That's it. Those are our headlines. Those are our headlines.
That's all. It seems like just a minute ago you started. 15 minutes ago. It's... Seems like yesterday you started.
Yeah, okay. So those are... So again, we got the Trump candidate who has refused to have his name, the human foot found on the Canadian coastline. You got Mike Pence criticizing that straights are being tortured. The zoo that's going to name a cockroach after your ex. An Illinois police department that arrested Elsa. Burger King man who's reneged from his free meals. And gay penguins.
Okay, I think I may know which one. Isaac, you have an idea?
Yeah, I got it.
All right. First, however, you like to chew tiny little energy balls? I mean, who doesn't like to have a couple of energy balls in their mouth at any given moment? I mean, I'm just saying. That's the way they originally used to consume coffee. They would take coffee beans and they would grind them up and then they would roll those in animal fat. And those little bitty energy balls, they'd suck on those. And that would give them the caffeine that they wanted. This is back in way back. Apparently, African tribes did that.
Mr. Peabody took us back there?
He certainly did. You know what? You won't find at American Pride Roasters. You won't find those coffee beans rolled in animal fat. But I think, does he still have the? Remember the chocolate coffee bites that I gave you yesterday? You know, that thing I gave you?
Yes, that was good.
I wonder if they still have those, because, man, those are good. I found those actually in Doc's stash.
Okay.
He was hoarding the damn coffee chocolate, the things you find when somebody goes on vacation. So if you go to AmericanPrideRoasters.com, that's APR Coffee, you will find... you'll find, as I said, P Hat Matt's Peppermint Mocha blend. You'll find Doc Thompson's Uranus Hertz. You'll find the MoJo 50 blend.
I just saw that today.
It's anus.
Okay.
It's anus. You'll find the First Thanksgiving Pumpkin Pie blend, the Frederick Douglass blend, the Washington. It's really, really good coffee. It's made by hand with love and with care. And I cannot find the coffee. I think they're coffee drops, but they are so good.
Do you want some birthdays today?
Well, we got to figure out which one's fake first.
Okay, I'm just saying, I don't care about any of these people at all.
AmericanPrideRoasters.com, APR Coffee, the official coffee of MoJo 50. All right, so if I'm guessing, I'm going with the Pence story, the Pence gay torture or however heterosexual torture.
Okay.
Which one?
I'm gonna go with Burger King Man.
All right, well,
Burger King Man, and
Uncle Brad wins this
and
one
Ron
today.
Says,
Did I?
cockroaches.
Oh, Uncle Brad wins today.
I won. What did I win?
A lifetime appointment is sitting next to me.
No, seriously, what did I win? Wow,
That's the worst prize ever.
Had I known, excuse me, I gotta get something out of the truck. I'll be right back. All right, so I won that one. That's good. We should actually be keeping score on this. That would be so much more fascinating. All right, yeah. So birthdays.
Elizabeth Taylor, who, even though she's dead, yes, I still would. It's her birthday today. Josh Groban, who, man, if I could sing like him, geez.
Right?
Chelsea Clinton, if I could run faster to get away from that pig. And then I'm looking at all these
Wait
kids.
a minute, how old is Chelsea Clinton?
She's just a sack. 38, and she,
she's, really? She's not, I never thought
Elizabeth
she was all
Taylor's
that bad.
dead, so she's, I have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
She won't struggle.
That's
John Steinbeck is dead.
Yeah. A lot of
It's his
dead
birthday.
people.
Yeah.
A lot of dead people. All right.
Other than that, there's a list of people who I've never heard of, I don't care about, and I couldn't care less if they didn't see their next birthday. I don't care.
Congratulations, by the way, on using couldn't care less in the proper
That's
text.
how it is. It's couldn't care less.
I can't stand it when people say
I
could care less because that means you're not at the bottom rung of caring.
That's exactly right.
Do you know that, Isaac? Do you say I could care less or I couldn't care less?
I say I couldn't care less.
Couldn't care less. So you are welcome. You are one of the smart ones. By the way, the jackholes are well into it over on the Twitter. Lori F&D said you need to make these less obvious. I'll bet you she didn't know which one it was.
Bet.
ELS Stealth Jackhole tweeted what I learned today. When they find a foot on the shoreline, do they have to call a tow truck?
But I'm chin.
I see what you did there. You know, over on the Facebook page, the jackholes are they're always putting something up that is actually worth watching. And you can go ahead and kill that music there, Isaac. I'm going to play this. This is a newscaster at KY3. I don't know where KY3 is, but
next to KY Jelly on the show.
Right, exactly. It's obviously better than KY2, but this was a news story that actually made it to the news.
Customers at a Kansas Home Depot. Police responded to reports of a bomb threat at the store in Wichita. A customer alerted employees. A man inside the bathroom said there was a bomb in the building. Police were able to locate the man responsible for those comments, and that man told police he warned other guests to leave the restroom because he was, quote, fixing to blow it up, but had no intention of causing a panic. Man also told police others in the room laughed, understanding his joke, which I'm just now getting. Home Depot says they will not be pressing charges. But I can tell you right now, you asked the producer for me to read that, didn't you? To Ethan now, please.
No. She got schnookered. She got suckered into reading that story.
We're gonna have to go to a commercial.
No, we're gonna get it.
Yeah, and they're having a little bit of trouble recomposing themselves, which of course
as it should be
takes us back to the original ultimate newscaster reading something that they should have seen coming but didn't.
Information now also on the plane crash. KTVU has just learned the names of the 4 pilots who were on board the flight. They are Captain Sum Ting Wong, Wee Tu Lo, Ho Lee Fook, and Bang Ding Ao. The NTSB has confirmed these are the names of the pilots on board Flight 214 when it crashed. We are working to determine exactly what roles each of them played during the landing on Saturday.
MoJo 50.
That is a classic. How that got by the 18 people that it had to get by to actually make it to air in, I think that was San Jose at the time, is stunning to me because you have a producer, you have a director, you have somebody who types the words into the teleprompter. Then you have the actual anchor who sits there and reads it out loud, not realizing that she has just been had in a big way.
I'm sure she had been had. How do you think she got her job?
She had been had in a big way.
Izzo's being sexist.
Water's wet, and we have to breathe air. to survive.
And I love hot dogs.
No,
I do sauerkraut on my hot dog.
Oh, sauerkraut dogs.
Oh, God. Celery salt. Yep.
1983, the very first mobile phone came out in the United States. 1983. I think it was a bag phone.
Sure.
And any guesses as to how much it may have cost? Let's ask the youngster in there, see if he knows. Isaac, how much do you think the first mobile phone cost? It was in 1983.
Around $300 or something like that.
Wow, you think it was that expensive? $300?
I don't know. It was a brick.
300? No. I think this is before the brick. This was in 83, so this is the bag
83.
phone.
So we're going to talk about cost of living back then versus now. I'm going to say between $1,500 to $3,000.
Nice try.
Okay.
It was $4,000.
Yep.
$4,000. That was the cost of the first mobile phone in the United States. That's pretty amazing.
Jeez.
Yeah, I know that's. And you talk about your data plan for that was non-existent, literally non-existent. If you go to patriotmobile.com, you're not going to pay $4,000 for a cell phone. No. You may not pay a dime. You can keep your own cell phone. If you love the cell phone you have, if you like your cell phone, you can keep your cell phone. If you like the same number, you can keep the same number. As a matter of fact, they could even pay off your existing contract, and you can find all of the information at patriotmobile.com/doc. Make sure you do the /doc. That means that you heard it here, and we get credit, and then they continue sponsoring us, and then we don't have to go find jobs doing stuff, like waitressing, hitting the bottom of the barrel.
Oh, God, what happened to
with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez? I mean, if you do that.
She's so hot.
Go to patriotmobile.com/doc, switch to Patriot Mobile, and be a part of the solution, not a part of the problem. When you have those the big guys as your cell phone carrier, you're actually funding progressive ideas and thoughts. Not a good thing. patriotmobile.com/doc. You know what we're doing next?
What are we doing, Uncle Brad?
I have no idea, but we'll find out in a second. This is your Daily Mojo.
A free exchange of ideas. Mojo 50.
In today's Me Too era, women have now been declared equal in all aspects when it comes to the military, or have they? Let me explain. With women now serving in combat roles, a federal judge in Texas recently ruled that an all-male military draft is unconstitutional. U.S. District Judge Gary Miller in the Southern District of Texas ruled on the lawsuit brought by the National Coalition for Men, a group of men's rights activists who argued that the selective service requirement that men between the ages of 18 and 26 must register, but not women, is unconstitutional. The attorney for the male activists argued that, quote, forcing only males to register is an aspect of socially institutionalized male disposability and helps reinforce the stereotypes that support discrimination against men in other areas, such as divorce, child custody, and domestic violence services. Judge Miller agreed and said that, quote, while historical restrictions on women serving in combat may have justified past discrimination, men and women are now equally able to fight. The attorney for plaintiffs was thrilled with the ruling and said, quote, women are now allowed in combat, so this decision is long overdue. After decades of sex discrimination against men in the selective service, the courts have finally found it unconstitutional to force only men to register. So how soon will women be signing up with the selective service system? Not anytime soon. The court's ruling was only a declaratory judgment, which means that even though the requirement is deemed unconstitutional, the court didn't order the selective service to start signing women up. And that's today's reality check with Susan Knowles.
There's a better way to meet people without having to suffer through all the crazies. Weed out all the nutty people with WeThePeople.dating. That's WeThePeople.dating. It's easy to find a liberty-minded match, and it takes less than a minute to create a free account and begin browsing through over 11 million monthly subscribers. Look, we all know the success of a relationship hinges on the core shared values of a couple. So check out WeThePeople.dating. Sign up and start dating today. WeThePeople.dating. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of a partner.
The Daily Mojo.
Well, apparently the detective would fart a lot and use very strong language around the police station. They could lose their job. They don't want to be fired. They said that the behavior was part of a culture of banter at the village police station in Bedwas, South Wales. That is, of course, across the pond. This detective is accused of farting outside the sergeant's office, telling a suspect, "You're driving like a C word."
That doesn't, see, I didn't know that was Wales. It doesn't apply over there because that's just as bad as like our F word here.
Yeah.
If it was here, it'd be funnier. it would be like, oh my God, that guy's my hero.
They asked a junior colleague if he wanted to have an affair, a fatter, ugly, older woman, and he asked another colleague in a bus station for thrush cream. By the way, this is a woman.
So that's a woman who did that?
This is Detective Claire Fitzpatrick. She's 44 and apparently is quite flatulent and has a mouth like a sailor.
I know a lot of women cops. I'm very judgmental about them. I dated. My ex is a female cop. I'm just going to leave it at that. They're bad.
You sure you don't want to?
No.
I can get you a bigger shovel.
No, it's okay.
I'm happy to grab a shovel for you.
No. That's what I needed to get through. So I needed to get it in there.
Don't keep digging that tiny little shovel. Let me help you out here.
No.
So when I came out, I had a different hat on today. I'm wearing the hat with the hidden trigger. Actually, it's not even hidden. It's the hat with obvious trigger. And this Trump derangement syndrome,
it's real,
is stunning. So you keep hearing all of the stories, of course, like the Jussie Smollett, who this is my country. Blah, blah, blah. And then you don't hear so much about these stories. An 81-year-old man was assaulted in a ShopRite in New Jersey because he was wearing a Make America Great hat. According to authorities yesterday, the victim was confronted by an unknown man over the hat just before 3:30 in the afternoon on Monday in Franklin Township. County authorities are working with local cops on the investigation, would not release any further details. The injured man, who's a Franklin Township resident, refused medical treatment.
No suspect information at all?
They didn't release.
Is it amazing how they don't do that?
Yeah.
Because they don't want to make it racial.
No. Don't want to do that. So, Make America Great. 81-year-old guy in New Jersey is attacked. Let's see here. This came out yesterday afternoon. A woman assaulted a man wearing a MAGA hat. He was wearing the MAGA hat. He's sitting at the bar. There was actually video of this. I think I can play this audio here. So he's sitting at the bar. He's eating and having a drink, and she comes up behind him.
Claims that he was attacked for wearing a Make America Great Again hat at a local Mexican restaurant. Tonight, the woman who hit him in the video is facing charges.
Police say Roseanne Santos was so angry they had to carry her out to their cruiser. WBZ's Bill Shields spoke to witnesses in the bar who say that assault was unprovoked.
It was at this Mexican restaurant in Falmouth, and Brighton Turner was wearing his Trump-inspired Make America Great Again hat. Roseanne Santos, another customer, apparently didn't like it.
Someone's trying to sit here and eat a nice meal. Look at it. Yeah, you see that?
This is the actual guy. He's sitting at the bar, and he's got his phone up. Obviously, he's doing a selfie video, and she's behind him. Reasonably attractive woman, actually.
What?
Reasonably
attractive. You watching the same video I saw earlier?
Yeah, maybe. Is she the chick at the
thick young? Was she about a size 14?
I didn't say she was skinny. I just said she was reasonably attractive. Wow. No wonder you're divorced. All right.
Or not even married. Never married.
Continuing on.
You see this?
Before that video, she allegedly tried to shove Turner's face into his food. Police arrived and had...
By the way, that's not a euphemism.
No.
That is actually his face into his food.
Eat
your dinner.
Difficulty removing Santos.
It's just a hat at the end of the day. I don't really understand why people can't just express themselves anymore.
Because you're a white guy, you stupid idiot. You can't say anything that you feel. You're a young white man in America. Shut up.
He has to get mad.
The bartender that night was Gio Macario. He's of Mexican descent and says in America, you can wear whatever hat you want.
Lady just didn't agree with his hat, and I kept telling her, I was like, it's all right, he's not doing anything to me, so why is it even a problem?
On Monday, anti-Trump protesters were at the Falmouth Town Common. Then a plow driver allegedly covered some of them in a wall of slush.
In a wall of what?
A wall of slush. This is
I thought I said a wall of slut. I'm like, where can I get that building?
The plow is coming along the street, and he's at a pretty good clip, and the plow catches a big mound of dirty snow and all over him,
harassing us.
Two minor incidents, but
so that's over at the Daily Caller if you want to take a look at. But okay, so the guy's just sitting there enjoying his meal. The woman comes up, and I do have. If you see the video, she may have just been flirting with him.
Do you have the part 2 of that though?
No, I don't.
So you don't know the follow up?
Well, I do know that, yes, that actually the joke's on her.
Yes.
Yeah, ICE is looking to deport her now. Apparently, she was not in the country legally. So I think that would be a pro-criminal tip,
She proved
actually.
America is great because she never missed a meal.
Yeah, no, she and again, she's not horrid looking.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah,
Her,
I mean,
no. Here's her, because she's Latina.
Yeah, she's got the Latin blood.
And AOC.
It's not the Tuma.
And AOC. Come on, who you got to pick? You can only have one.
Damn. AOC in this case.
Thank you.
She's just
so hot.
Tips the scales a little less.
God.
So the woman is what was her name? Roseanne Santos.
Okay.
So they're looking to deport her. So it's probably a bad idea if you've got
Draw
some,
attention to yourself if you're here illegally.
I think. I mean, just if it were me and I was, I had some things I was trying to hide, I probably wouldn't do things that drew attention to me.
Nope.
I don't know. And then this story from Kentucky. A liberal man
married his sister.
Well, there's that. Pulled a gun on a man in a Kentucky big box store, allegedly because he was triggered over the man's Donald Trump campaign MAGA hat.
Brad said box.
Police in Bowling Green say James Phillips was arrested after witnesses said he pulled a gun inside a Sam's Club outlet because the victim was wearing a red Make America Great Again hat. Police report notes the suspect admitted to getting upset over the headwear and that he flipped off the MAGA hat wearer. This, according to a television station there. The victim, Terry Pierce, told police he had a right to wear the hat.
Sure.
It's...
I want to go to lunch. I got to go to lunch with you and Matt. The two oak trees walking down, and both you wear that hat.
This is
and
amazing.
I'm going to piss people off on purpose. I'm going to go, hey, you like their hats? You got something to say? What's up, sucko?
We'd have to we'd bring Isaac too, and he could videotape
the Brown Panther?
The Brown Panther.
Brown Panther.
Let's see, Terry says, I have as much right to wear that hat and support my country as my president, and he has not to. Pierce added that Phillips is the guy who pulled the gun. He pulled a .40 caliber out and stuck it in my face, backed up and said, "It's a good day for you to die." Now, it doesn't say if he said it in a threatening way. It didn't say, "It's a good day for you to die." Because that's when or if it's, "It's a good day for you to die," because that wouldn't be as threatening. If somebody stuck a gun in your face and said, "It's a good day for you to die."
If that was the case, I don't know. I wouldn't want to live anymore. If somebody has the balls to wind up doing that just like that, I would follow through with your mission. You deserve it.
It's a good day for you to die. That is not as frightening.
It's a good day for you
to die.
No, that's nothing. That was almost a good ship lollipop, something like you're
right. Well, yeah, especially if it was a midget that came up and pulled the gun on you.
Oh God, where's he aiming?
Well, that's just it. I mean, if he's got the gun pointed straight out, I think you probably have a good idea. It was a .40 caliber Glock, by the way, with a bullet in the chamber. So he had this thing chambered. He had 2 extra loaded magazines on his person. He was charged with wanton endangerment. Wanton endangerment, first degree, and was booked into the Warren County Regional Jail. No
Rose,
word.
the MAGA hat woman, AOC, or Bridget the midget, which I know you know who that is.
Isaac is shaking his head, and I don't know either.
I don't know who Bridget
yes, you do.
Midget
Who's
is.
Bridget
Yes,
the
you
midget?
do. You know exactly who she is.
Who is she? I don't
She's
know.
She's an actress.
Okay. And?
She's an
Bridget.
actress.
Is she a porn star?
She's an actress.
You would have asked that.
What? Okay.
Those are your choices.
Oh, she's an actress.
She's an actress.
Okay. So my choice is, again, AOC.
AOC. The Rose, the MAGA hat lady.
Oh, yeah.
Bridget the midget.
Roseanne. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, Bridget the midget.
Well, since I've never seen Bridget the midget, I'm going to have
I
to.
will bet money that you have seen Bridget the midget.
Okay. Then I'm still going with AOC because I.
Okay.
How about you, Isaac? Are you get in on this action?
AOC, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, because she does. She has the Latin blood going on for her, and she's not grossly overweight.
Patrick Spork on the Twitter, hashtag what I learned today. Why does Ransom Izzo say that @RealBradStaggs says box all the time? You'll figure it out over time, my friend. You'll figure it out over time.
It'll it'll hit you. It'll hit you sooner or later. It probably is stress. I think it's just stress. Stress can overburden your mind with incessant worries. You might feel jittery from stress. Stress can make you feel hot.
What can you do about your stress, Uncle Brad?
Not the good kind of hot either. It's stress is a bad thing. They used to when I was a kid. They used to back when rocks were soft. I always heard stress will kill you.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, how the hell can stress kill you? I now understand how stress can kill you. I mean, if you are not taking care of yourself, if you're not doing the right thing for your body, if you're not doing, if you're not eating well, if you're not getting the right supplements, the right vitamins, the right minerals, you're not getting some exercise, that really can end up, if you're eating too much sugar, eating too much of anything, really.
What can we do about that, Uncle Brad?
Well, I would recommend that you go to, and we put this at the top of Doc Thompson's Daily Mojo Facebook page. The Rich Solution has, of course, the Doc Thompson Healthy Lifestyle Challenge, which somebody pointed out was odd since the guy is dead, so it's not really.
He's on
healthy.
vacation.
We just stand from this day forward. He's on vacation, getting a good tan. Very good. He does have a very good tan by now. But if you go to either therichsolution.com and take a look at all of the fabulous supplements and other, there's the book there that Gwen wrote, and this book, Doc actually wrote the forward to it.
Sorry.
So you can
go to the MeWe chat room.
Oh no, no, that's
Lep Raycon put a photo of Bridget the midget up there. I'm gonna tell you something.
Thank you.
I would. I'm sorry.
I may change my mind
from that photo alone.
So you can get the book. You can also get the Gwen has a purse collection too, handbags. Are you into handbags? I mean, there's nothing wrong with a man.
It's not my bag,
handbag.
baby. It's not my bag.
And of course, the supplements. And the thing about the supplements, because I asked him, I said, so what if somebody wants to buy? They're having like a stressful day or whatever, and they want to find what do they buy? Can they call you and say, what do I need for all this? You can get the prepackaged stuff. They have different kits available with all different sorts of
oh my God.
With different sorts of supplements in them. richsolution.com, and please join the Doc Thompson. We'll find out what he's giggling about in a second.
You don't want to know.
Doc Thompson Healthy Lifestyle Challenge over on Doc Thompson's Daily Mojo Facebook page.
It's MeWe chat room. They're talking about Bridget.
What are they saying about Bridget?
Dude, you had some people agreeing with me. Okay, seriously, you may want to make AOC. Oh, don't scroll. Make AOC look
let me
good.
See Bridget the midget.
This photo itself. I'm sorry. I would.
Okay, you're right. I'm in.
I'm sorry. She's an attractive thing.
Midget.
Yes. She's not a thing. She's a woman.
Sure.
She's a woman.
What?
And yes, she's quite an attractive woman.
Wagner slanging the saddle tramp. Sorry, I have to go with Bridget the midget.
Yeah, I do too. Now
I live
I've
in
seen her.
Texas, so the Latin blood thing, meh. But a chance to bang a hot porn star midget, you got to do it.
Don't gloss over the he's burying the headline there.
Yeah.
The Latin blood thing, meh.
Well, because it's common. I mean, how often will you ever?
If you're sitting in a room surrounded by Twinkies and ding dongs and chocolate goodies, you don't go Twinkies and ding dongs and chocolate goodies. Meh.
If you have it
You're
every
in
day,
heaven.
you do. No, if you have it every day, you do.
See, this is how he starts dipping into alternate lifestyles. Pretty soon, it's the Mick Jagger, David Bowie thing.
It is the wormhole of being desensitized and familiarized all day long. Now, my goal in life is to have my Swedish model harem.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that after a while,
men or women,
the blonde eyes. Well, let me get there. The blonde eyes and the blue hair and the "Hi, Daddy, what you want today?" That's my Swedish concept of it.
That's not how this.
Don't care.
Sounds.
Don't care. In my mind, it is. After a while, I will need something different. I will be desensitized. Yes, I will be desensitized, and I will have to take out for Chinese.
You get the yellow fever at that
I'm
point?
going to have to at that point, and I will roll the dice on which one's a post-op tranny.
Well, everybody has to have a challenge in life, and I think that's going to be your challenge. I see no problem with that.
Thank you.
I just want to thank you for introducing me to Bridget the midget.
I'm telling you, she 90s I think is when she was. I hate to use the word big, But
yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. That's yeah.
See, all the MeWe chat was blowing up. Hell yeah, I would bang her brains out and then some.
Wow.
Just be careful. She can't wipe her butt. Her arms are too short.
What is wrong with
Bridget
these
over
people?
AOC. Here's Rocky with an eye. Oh my God, you guys are sick, and I love it.
What is wrong with these people?
Here, this one stole mine. This is Rusty Lugnuts. I'd seriously give her the best 5 minutes I got.
So I fell down the YouTube wormhole again and came across this with Nancy Pelosi, Ocasio-Cortez, Omar, and Hayes on the president. This is posted by Rolling Stone, and I'll tell you what the comments are here in a second. But listen to this is basically a video interview with all four of them. It's only about 20 seconds long.
If I had to say something to Trump.
If I were talking to Trump right now.
My message to Trump. What I want to say to Trump. That's not profanity.
So you asked, if I were speaking to President Trump, what would I say to him?
Notice that Nancy Pelosi was the only one who, don't go anywhere, Ron. Nancy Pelosi was the only one to say President Trump. The rest of them were all Trump.
Because that's their age.
No respect whatsoever.
Nope.
One of the first comments on here from a guy named Jay, you guys are asking for a bad like to dislike ratio. And they're right. They're actually getting more dislikes than they are likes. I see what you, so Ron, you want to come on over here. Since you're in here, why don't you explain what you were madly waving your arms to me about?
I was madly waving my arms around. Good morning, everybody.
You didn't say good morning to the guy in the back there.
Yeah, good morning to the guy behind the glass. You know what? I actually got to say that today. That's awesome. Hi,
Nice.
Isaac. Hey,
Thank you.
So just for everybody's,
These are cool.
just for everybody's purposes, if you go out to the MoJo50.com website right now, go to shop. The top item in the menu list is Doc Thompson. So we've added a few items out there. Right now, it's just the rules information, but
we
there
will ride that bitch as long as we can.
there are mugs, there are throw pillows, there are wall hangings, there are T-shirts of Doc Thompson and the rules. So go out and check that out now. MoJo50.com. Click shop, and the top item in the list is Doc Thompson. All the items are out there right now.
Anybody told you today you're doing a great job? I think there's a reason for that. These are really cool. I forgot to add the sale. I'm assuming is still on because tomorrow's the last day. Is the sale still on? The 10% off sale?
Let me check real quick.
All right, so we're gonna check. I think the 10% sale is still happening. You don't need a promo code or anything like that. You just need to buy something. 10%? Yes? No? Maybe? Yeah? Yeah? Still till tomorrow. Okay, got it. All right, so go to the
just the tip.
Yes, exactly. Let's see. Where was there's so many ways to go here. This is a bizarre story from I guess that he was living in, where was he? An original member of the Disney Mouseketeer cast.
Annette Funicello in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. Even
dead.
in, I don't care. Back to the Beach. Annette Funicello still? Yeah.
She was
Oh,
hot.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Dennis Day was one of the original Mouseketeers. He
Did he play Cubby?
This is back one of the original guys. He was reported missing in July 2018. So almost more than 6 months ago, by his husband. He was married to Ernest Caswell.
Okay.
But here's the weird thing.
Besides a gay musketeer.
His family didn't know he was missing for 6 months until last month. It's because the husband, Ernest, has dementia and could not provide police with Day's family contact info. Wow.
I'd love to go missing that long. Can you imagine dropping off the radar for 6 months?
Yes.
Oh,
actually,
beautiful.
That would be a fabulous vacation. He was last seen leaving his home on foot. He said he was going to visit friends. His car also went missing, but it was found by police with 2 people in it.
Listen, as a former cop, gang, let me tell you something right now. 3 things not to freak out about. Number 1, when the IRS calls you and demands something, it's a scam. It's not them. Don't freak out about that. Number 2 and 3 are kind of together. When old people go missing or you can't find kids, they're both going to turn up. Your kids are probably hiding somewhere in your house, behind a couch, under a friggin' desk. I don't know where it is. They're hiding. Don't freak out. And number 2, the old person just wandered down the block like a Margot Kidder.
Yeah, but
they'll turn up.
70, first of all, they found the car, but and there were 2 people inside. No signs of a crime had been committed in the car or by his home. His credit cards and bank accounts have not been used since he went missing. And it does say here he was one of the original Mickey Mouse Club Mouseketeers in 1955.
MICKEYMOUSE.
Isaac is looking at you now.
You have no idea what that is, do you?
No.
What did you say about the call from the IRS?
So when the IRS calls, it's a scam.
All right, so I got this. It's funny you should mention that. I got this. When did I get this? Last February 7th. This came in. I've been paranoid ever since.
Investigating team of our department is investigating you and your family. We had tried to notify you regarding these issues in previous 6 months, but we had never got a response from you. So it has been considered as an intentional fraud, and lawsuit has been filed under your name by the United States government.
See?
Yeah, it's a scam.
You may call our department number on 706.
You didn't actually call that, did you?
Well, no.
It's a scam.
392.
They want you to go to Walmart and get
706
like phone cards.
948 4392.
So you're saying that's not real? I mean, are you telling me the federal government has not filed a lawsuit against me and my family?
They haven't.
After investigating me and me not contacting them, I've been.
They attack the elderly and the seniors. You're at AARP age though.
I'm not
50. 50.
It's 55.
No, I thought it was 50.
It's 55.
Is it really? Okay.
It's 55.
All right. I wouldn't know, guys. I'm only 43.
That's when you start getting the discounts.
Okay.
No, I've gotten burial insurance now twice.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse,
go to IHOP,
excuse me, I'm young.
Get you discount pancakes.
Burial insurance.
Yeah. Hey,
Which
let
me
make a quick announcement. The website has crashed. Thank you, everybody, for going out there.
Are you serious?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
It crashed because of the orders?
Yeah. Here's the thing, folks. There is not a limited supply. So come back. If the website doesn't come up, please be patient. Please come back to it throughout the day. The items are out there. These items can be made to order, so there is not a limited supply. So if you can't get to it,
don't tell them that.
All right, I didn't say a limited time.
It's limited to the first 50, and then the price goes up. So make sure you get them now because the price just because of the cost of getting these things done. We're going to have to raise the cost.
Yeah, we've got sale prices on there. So please be patient, and thank you for crashing our site. Appreciate it.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Whew. Just for a stupid coffee mug. These people will buy anything. What a bunch of suckers.
What's funny is it's not just a coffee mug. It's coffee mug, T-shirts, throw pillows.
So we have the
wall signs.
We have the throw pillows up there for the homotype sexuals.
Whatever the case may be.
Okay, just making sure. Because,
I
mean, what, are you going to go buy a throw pillow?
Yeah.
Look, it's got Doc's picture
Those
on
aren't
it. They
pillows.
may want that.
Mm-hmm. You want to sleep right next to Doc's face tonight? A little creepy. Actually, that's pretty wild that they crashed the site buying stuff. I'm telling you this. I'm not going to say it because if I tell them how wonderful they are, they'll just get a big head, and then they'll start walking around like, "Hey, we're the big audience, Hey, we don't stink. There's nothing wrong with us." You can't tell them that. It'll go straight to their head. What are they?
7 rings of CPAC. Hashtag what I learned today. That's right. A wall of slut. I'll say it again. A wall of slut.
What did I? What was it?
It was a wall of slush.
Oh, that's right. The wall of slush. I forgot about that.
Toxic masculinity jackhole. Hashtag what I learned today. So we officially have reached the point where citizens have to explain to the police that we have a right to wear a hat.
Yes. Is that not stunning? I have a right, unless it's amazing that they will do these things like in school. If you have it, what they would consider an offensive T-shirt.
I blame every one of you people who's listening. I blame every single one of you people who's listening because here's what you do: you live in your town, If you live in county, you elect your sheriff. If you live in a town, you vote your mayor. Your mayor appoints your police chief. You go, oh my God, I can sleep in my bed safe tonight because they're going to do a good job and they're going to put the right people on the road. What you don't do is you don't go to your village hall meetings. You don't know your department policies. You don't know what your cops can do, what they have, you don't know who their names are. So you don't know who they're hiring. And all these guys who are my age, 43, 44, are looking forward to retiring. 50 hits, they're gone. There are no more 60-year-old cops staying out there. They're gone. So they're being replaced by these mindless, drone, dumbass, millennial cops who just want a job with a badge and a gun. And when the sheriff or the police chief says, we're going over to Brad Staggs' house today and take his guns. Okay,
I don't have
Chief.
any guns.
Okay, Chief, we're going to do it. This is your fault for not getting involved in your police department and learning what they're doing so these cops don't know what freedom of speech is.
Hold on a second. Hang on.
Remember,
that's all the applause we could afford.
You pay taxes, police work for you.
That is the truth. He be truthing on that. Yeah, if you're just joining us, I just saw a tweet from Tech Ruse saying, wait, I'm missing a run on an amazing new product. Yeah, the Doc Thompson line has arrived at the MoJo 50 website. Get your limited edition. So go to mojo50.com. The website is apparently crashed right now, but we're working on it. And you can get we have mugs with the 5 rules on it and hats and throw pillows. And actually, I went through a phase where I bought throw pillows for the house. After I got divorced, the house looked like
that code that's code for you went out to the manhole that night. You were dressed up in your best 1970s cruising outfit with the leather studded things across your nipples and the hat.
Nothing wrong with that.
Come on back. I got
nothing wrong with that.
Hey, are you into throw pillows?
I went to IKEA. My house looked like a bad garage sale. Literally the television was ripped off the wall. That's how bad it was. I spent at IKEA almost $2,000 on shit.
Best line from Cruisin', Al Pacino in that little alleyway. Hipsalips.
I had throw pillows. Right. I had bookshelves. I had knickknacks. I bought patty wax. I bought trinkets. I bought all sorts of things to decorate the house with.
Scented candles?
I did. Oh, I'm queer for candles.
I'm not going to lie.
I love candles.
All no homo aside, I'm a big candle guy.
I love it. I love candles. Yep. I absolutely love candles. I enjoy candles and a good bubble bath.
I have no problem with that. No problem with that.
And a good back scrub.
It's not gay. It's relaxing.
Nobody said it was gay.
So I guess we know what we're doing after the show.
Yes. I have no problem with that. You bring the loofah?
And the pictures to be taken.
Since there's already video cameras hidden in the bathroom, you don't have to worry about that. This, my friends, is Doc Thompson's Daily Mojo.
This is the seditious, rabble-rousing, liberty-loving, home of fun, entertaining, and compelling talk. Mojo 50.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. In Hanoi, President Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un have kicked off their second summit in less than a year.
The two leaders shook hands in front of a display of American and North Korean flags before sitting down for a private dinner with top aides. President Trump said it was an honor to be meeting again with Chairman Kim.
I thought the first summit was a great success, and I think this one hopefully will be equal or greater than the first.
Speaking through an interpreter, Kim said he's confident of achieving the great results that everyone will welcome during the summit.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston says after tonight's dinner, the two leaders will hold denuclearization talks tomorrow. President Trump's former personal lawyer has arrived on Capitol Hill for today's public testimony.
Michael Cohen will go before the House Oversight Committee, where a person with knowledge of the matter says he'll give a behind-the-scenes account of what Cohen will say is the president's lying, racism, and cheating. Cohen has been caught in his own lies. He'll report to prison later this year after lying to Congress in 2017. The White House says it's laughable that anybody would take Cohen at his word and pathetic that he's getting another chance. Sagar Magani, Washington.
The crossing gates were down, and authorities say the driver of a car tried to beat the approaching trains at a crossing on Long Island, New York last evening. The vehicle hit by two speeding commuter trains, killing 3 people in the car.
This is, a very tragic, cautionary tale.
that you just don't try to beat the train. It's not going to work.
Nassau County Executive Laura Curran. It happened at a Long Island Railroad crossing in Westbury. 7 people on one of the trains suffering minor injuries. The railroad says that commuters can expect delays all day long today. Wall Street Dow futures down 48 points. S&P futures off 5 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Take the pain out of ordering your diabetic testing supplies with Diathrive. Diathrive ships the testing supplies you need directly to you when you need them. Best of all, with plans starting as low as $8 a month, Diathrive is probably going to cost you less than what you're paying today. Diathrive is so convinced that you'll love their service, they're offering your first month of supplies free. Simply type the code DOC, D-O-C, at checkout. Diathrive.com. That's D-I-A, thrive.com.
Bottom line, if you want to lose weight, go to riduzone.com. That's R-I-D-U zone.com. Riduzone has helped countless people lose weight, and they can help you too by boosting your metabolism and making you feel a little bit fuller naturally. Riduzone.com.
Ladies, some of you sickos willingly accept that with the big doe eyes that you don't even need from a Snapchat filter and just look up at R. Kelly and say, give me your best.
The Rants of Izzo. Tonight at 7. MoJo 50.
Have you done it? You catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror?
I'm one of those people you don't want to see naked.
Yeah, most of us. But I mean, you look and you're going, what the?
I know.
How did I get to whatever?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible. Hey there, it's Doc Thompson and Brad Staggs to tell you about a different way to shed those pounds. This is brand new tech. It's only been around for a couple of years or so. It was based on research from the University of California that said there's a molecule called OEA that's found naturally in your body. It produces it in the Mediterranean diet, that when taken in concentrated amounts, it will actually make you feel fuller and boost your metabolism.
I've lost about 10 pounds so far.
It's amazing.
It really is cool.
A company said, we can take this to market and make this great product that'll help you. It's called Riduzone, R-I-D-U zone.com, R-I-D-U zone.com. Brad's worked. It's worked for Brad's, worked for me, countless other people. Go to riduzone.com and try today. You're going to love it. Riduzone.com. Remember that, R-I-D-U zone.com.
This is the MoJo 50 Institute for the Advanced Application of Freedom. Ya bitches. Mothership has landed.
Wait a minute. Toxically masculine Jackhole says, Real Brad Staggs, Rants of Izzo, so Doc hasn't even gone a month and the place goes to hell. It didn't. It's just the web. I mean, this is the Jackhole. This is your fault that the website crashed. If you hadn't been so damn eager, if you hadn't been eager beavers trying to get your little mitts on Doc Thompson stuff, we are selling at an incredibly inflated rate because, there'll never be any more of this stuff. We're limited runs and it's cost of business. And if you go to mojo50.com and you click on the shop, there is a new tab, and it's the Doc Thompson tab. As I said, we will ride that bitch as far as we can. And you can buy your Doc Thompson souvenir merchandise from mojo50.com. Copyright 2019. All rights reserved. Jackal, Angry Beaver, Dominic Izzo knows all the gay stuff. Okay.
Yeah, so?
There's nothing wrong with that.
That's
so you've got 2 accounts. You've got the Dominic Izzo and you have the Rants of Izzo Twitter account.
I've been using the Rants of Izzo more because the Jackals are much more involved in that one.
Okay, so the Dominic Izzo's the cleaned up version?
I don't know. I don't know. I use Rants of Izzo because those are the ones that
without midgets?
No, there's mids on there.
Uh-huh. And there was one from Stephen English who said, when a cop hands me a DUI pamphlet at a checkpoint, I hand them a copy of the Constitution and say, I'll read that if you read this.
You'd be surprised how accurate he is on that. One of my most uncomfortable things when you see those videos and a driver's asking a cop, am I being detained? Am I being detained? And a cop can't answer that.
No, it's stunning that they don't. The cops, and I don't know. I mean, I haven't studied it enough to know whether or not the cops have a right to make you roll your window down, or
they have enough to sit there and communicate with you. If they can't, they can ask you to step out of the car.
Right. They can or cannot.
They can't make you roll all the way down and communicate. Right. I mean,
they can't make you step out of the car.
Let me explain something. Here's how it is. You have the window down this much, right? Because you are anticipating me being a jagoff. Mr. Staggs, can you roll the window down a little bit more?
I'm comfortable with the window right where it is. Thank you.
All right, just so you know, I am trying to communicate with you. I want to get you out of here as soon as possible. I know you're being detained. I know this is a little bit of inconvenience. I just got to do my job. Can you roll it down a little bit so I can hear you a little bit better?
All right, 2 inches. Here you go.
Okay, that's great. Now, and I got it on this much. So as far as I'm concerned now it's a pride issue. Now I get the olfactory smell because I'm trying to smell for weed since it's so illegal.
Right.
I got a big waft on that. It's a pride issue now. Cops want the window down more. So you have now in that case, it's a pissing match between you and I.
Yes.
On the street, I am going to win. In the courts, maybe a different story. So if you don't roll the window down more, now I got 3 options. Ask, tell, make. Sir, would you roll the window down just a little bit more than that, please?
And these guys and the guys on
tell
YouTube.
Me no. Tell me no.
No, I will not.
Sir,
I'm comfortable with it where it is now.
Roll the window down more.
No, sir. I'm comfortable with it.
All right, step out of the car, sir.
Am I being detained?
Yes, you are, sir. There's a traffic stop. Step out of the car.
And I have to get out of that?
Yes, you do, sir. It's a lawful order. Step out of the car. Sir, I'm not going to tell you again. I will forcibly remove you from this vehicle right now if you don't get out of the car. And you'll be charged with obstructing and resisting.
I'm filming you.
That's fine, sir. Film all you want. Put the camera down and step out of the car.
I'm not wearing pants.
Well, neither am I. That's how that goes. So what's wrong with being a little bit persuasive and telling?
Right, you got to diffuse the situation.
Yeah, these
with
cops
the
they have no confidence on the job. I went to a class. Now, I took some time off in between my last 2 departments. So I had a choice, go through the academy again, which in retrospect I would have because it would have been fun.
Right.
Or take a 40-hour Constitution class, specifically on Fourth Amendment's search and seizure. I did 40 hours, 36 of us, lieutenants, sergeants in that class. Our class was taught Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock, 5 days a week by a former Secret Service agent for Carter, Jimmy Carter.
Right.
Guy was intelligence all belief. He emails me, congratulations, you are the only cop who got 100% in the class. And I'm on Facebook blasting out going, yeah, look at this. My buddy who's a cop goes, I'm not impressed. He goes, how embarrassing. All of us should have gotten 100% of that test.
And that's the thing with these cops in these videos. They are not very good at making themselves look good. They do not. They don't have the right answers. And that is a problem. Because even if they're right, it doesn't look like they're right.
No.
There should be a better way for them to get the point across.
I have a big problem with age, like kids. No offense. You picture him in a uniform.
Punk.
Picture him in a uniform walking up to you, trying, Mr. Staggs, step out of the car. You'd be like, what are you talking about? What are you, old enough to shave?
But then he does that thing with a little finger where he twists it, that thing you cops do where you get us behind. And
stupid. I can talk anybody in handcuffs.
Don't tase me, bro.
That's a problem. So cops say, he's a big dude. He's got those construction hands.
Lovable fuzzball.
He's got those construction hands that can wrap around your face and just crush you. So what do? It's like, oh my God, I'm going to go to the taser. I got to go to the taser automatically because I'm afraid to go hands-on with somebody.
Right.
Cops today, in this day and age, are pussies. And trust me, I love my brethren. I love the brothers in blue. But you guys got to get your shit together.
That's true. That's true. It's a PR thing at this point because they don't look good with the and honestly, some of these people that are doing this, it does get annoying because they know just enough, but they go in with that snarky attitude. And it's like, oh, I want to slap you.
You were married. Could you picture having an argument with your wife, having a bad day? You go to work, you have a badge, you can make someone else's day hell.
Yes. Yep. Yeah. And that's a lot of times what happens. A guy you probably wouldn't enjoy pulling over is this one. This is on the Daily. Is over a Metro in the UK. This is a guy in the hospital that apparently walked in with a bit of a wound and decided in the midst of being treated for said wound, he wanted to have a smoke. So this guy gets up and he's walking outside to have a smoke with a knife stuck in the middle of his back. And for those of you watching right now, you can see this. It's funny. I love they put this video contains scenes that some viewers may find distressing. Look at this dude. He looks tall, 6', skinny. His name is apparently Vladimir. He's saying, girls, he's your responsibility now. Follow him outside. Where are you going? I'm shocked. Vladimir, he's got a knife stick. I mean, it's a serious knife.
Where's the knife at right now?
Right in the center of his back.
So what is there right now? What is that? area of his back. It's running. It could be nicked or going up his spine, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Russians are insane. I wouldn't fight her. I mean, yeah, I would have to, but I wouldn't fight a Russian. It takes everything. They're robots.
Nikes.
They are
this
robots.
Guy walks outdoors and I don't know what I guess he was in the hospital, obviously, to have the knife removed from said back, probably from an ex-wife. You can go ahead and take that off there now.
Stabbed in the back.
Yeah, bull riders are the same way. If you ever fought a bull rider,
no.
You'd have to kill them.
They're crazy.
We had what was his name? We had him on at the other place. We saw him ride, and this guy had ridden in PBR and had broken his nose and had his jaw wired shut at one point, and he was out on the bull the next week. These guys are made of steel. They scare the hell out of me. Much better to have them on your side in a bar fight than not. Just saying. I don't think I'd ever want to pull him over, because that would be a toughie. Most popular guns. Well, that's not a knife. This is a knife.
I watched that clip yesterday. Oddly enough, that's weird.
Why bring a knife? You don't bring a knife to a gunfight. These are the
Sean Connery. That's a Chicago way
from the Untouchables.
And you got to slap a woman when she deserves it.
That's right.
Sorry, jackholes.
They put one of yours in the hospital. You put one of yours in the morgue. They do this. You do this.
That's how you get Capone.
A Kel-Tec PMR 30 and Sig Sauer P320. It's a tie at number 5.
Where are you looking at that, Uncle Brad?
This happens to be over at the. This is not on TRA Guns, but this is brought to you by TRAGuns.com, Tar River Arms. These are the most popular guns. I guess is this last year. Well, I guess the last year they had data for it. So you've got the Kel-Tec PMR 30, the Sig Sauer P320, which I still don't have a Sig Sauer. I'd like to have one of those. I should buy one. If I figure
6 hour P229 is what I had. I like that gun just because I'm familiar with
229, 230,
whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. In at number 4, a Glock 19.
Irv, we weren't even in aisle 5. I swear.
The Glock 19 is that the skinny one?
Glock 19, I believe, is a 9mm.
Yeah, isn't it the skinny?
That was the original one.
It down.
I think that was the original one.
Oh yeah, you're right. So they say one of those popular handguns of all time, gone through several generations of changes. And they say it barely registered on the best-selling list until last summer when the 5th generation came out. So I guess this was last year. In at number 3, the Sig Sauer P938.
Okay. See, SIGs are great. Very great.
They've got a great reputation. That's what a friend of mine who is a retired Navy SEAL loves his Sig Sauer.
Yeah, that's I know in my department, one of the only decisions they made that was good, dumbasses, was getting the SIGs because the Navy SEALs went to it.
Okay, and when you were a cop, did you have the 9mm or were you shooting with
357 SIG? My first department, I had a Glock 21, which was a 45. That was literally like picking up your MacBook and shooting with it. It was that big. It was uncomfortable for my hand. I went to the Glock 22, which is a 40 caliber, because my friend is in the DEA, and he told me that that was the gun that he had. So I still have that. That's mine. Not that the government needs to know.
When did they have to? Because at one point the 9mm were just bouncing off windshields.
They were talking about penetration power. So the number one reason why they wanted to use a gun is that the FBI did a study that says that you need to lose a liter of blood, which is more, a liter or a pint.
Yes.
Okay. So whichever is a smaller amount of value, a liter of blood is what you need to lose for your body to start slowing down motor skills.
Right.
So if you're shooting, and what absolutely makes your body lose motor skills more is inducing that blood loss. So you have to have bigger holes, right? So if you're putting a 9mm ball round into somebody, it goes in, little teeny tiny hole. If it stays in, comes out, little teeny, you're getting a little teeny hole. That's why you don't want like all that center mass shooting. You want shots spread out,
a gut shot, so that
you'll look like a shower head, and you'll have blood come out. In theory,
like a nice fountain.
Or you shoot them directly between the eyes, sever the spinal cord instantaneously. Right. So cops don't shoot, and this is why people, I can't say in this. Why can't you just shoot him in the leg? If you shoot him in the leg, it's not going to stop him. You got all that muscle tissue, unless you just break right through bone. And cops shoot to terminate life-threatening behavior. They don't shoot to slow them down. They don't shoot to kill. It's to terminate
They do in the movies.
life-threatening behavior.
They do it in the
all
movies.
Bullshit.
They can shoot a tire out from like 100 yards in the movies.
So
blindfolded.
The FBI determined, this was back in like, I don't know, late 90s, early 2000s, that 45 calibers induce bigger blood loss, blah, 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 blah. Now they're back to it doesn't make an effing difference.
Right.
But here's my thing. Chicago, 2 o'clock in the morning in a February when it's minus 90,000 below zero. People are wearing 2, 3, 4, 5 layers. That's why you get these gang members who are shot with 22s. And they're coming back looking like a hero for their causes because it didn't do anything to them.
Right.
So it's ridiculous.
Well, number 2 on the list of the most popular guns, the Smith & Wesson M&P 9 Shield. One of the most popular guns in the lineup, and the number 1 gun in terms of popularity and sales, the Ruger LCP.
Oh, really? Ruger of all guns.
Yeah. So
featured in Of Mice and Men.
Was it?
John Steinbeck, yeah. He shot him with a Ruger.
Well, no matter which
this
gun.
This is my bunny, George. I will call him and play with him and pet him and name him George.
If you go to traguns.com, that's Tar River Arms, it is the most convenient gun store on earth. Ooh, they have a new feature there. It's a little chat bot.
What's
so
the
when
new
you go
feature?
there, it pops up and it says, "Hi, I'm the TRA chatbot. How can I help you find the right firearm?" Click a button or ask a question.
Okay.
Well, there you go. So you can go right there and ask a question right now at traguns.com if you are inclined to buy.
Are you in there now?
I am.
Okay, ask them.
When you're inside me, I feel like.
There you go. Ask them, who would they rather do, Staggs or Izzo?
I don't even need to ask that question. That's just silly. Okay, let's see. That's there. Oh, here we go. Sign me up for the cereal-inspired beer. It's brewed with marshmallows.
Oh.
A Virginia brewery's Lucky Charms inspired beer. The breakfast cereal is not only but its packaging as well, and but in its use of marshmallows. Actually, the Smart Mouth Brewing Company said the beer, dubbed Saturday Morning, will debut this Saturday at its tasting room in Norfolk.
Have you heard of 420 beer or something along the lines of that?
Pot in it?
No. So my cousin, I was hanging around him. I was last month, and he pops his beer, and I'm like, "Dude, you got weed here?" And it's the beer. I don't know if it's it's something 420. I don't know if it's the
Really?
Yeah, but it smells like weed, and that was the allure of it.
Huh.
It was. I was like, ugh.
I don't know.
I
Marshmallows and beer and
burnt weed. I can take. I get migraines at the scent of unburnt weed.
Here, smell this and see if it smells
Exactly. Does this smell like chloroform?
Does this feel like a lump to you?
Or she's Italian.
My personal favorite. Do you know what it feels like when you have to pee?
Yeah, I do.
Will you feel this and see if I have to pee? Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes the jokes are just for us. According to an online survey, few Americans expect to live long enough to see a gay person or an atheist elected to the presidency of the United States. This is very recent. This is, I think this was this past President's Day. They say that while President's Day is commemoration of presidents past, YouGov is the website. There are all kinds of polls there.
What?
Polls. Polls.
Oh.
2/3 of Americans expect to see a female president and another black president within their lifetime.
We had a first female president. Oh, I'm sorry, it's gay president. Gay Muslim president.
Totally different.
Already had him. Who was married to a man.
A similar proportion. Are you talking about LBJ?
I am talking about. I'm talking about Michael Obama. That's a dude.
Similar proportion. Have you seen the videos online?
Yes,
Okay.
where she's It's dancing, and like her little tallywaggers walk, just wagging in the. That's a man. It's a man.
Hispanic Americans are more optimistic about ever seeing a Hispanic president. 67% of Hispanics believe that there will be a Hispanic president at some point in their future. Trump voters are substantially less likely to expect within their lifetime a president who is not male or white. Trump voters are substantially less likely to expect within their lifetime a president who's not male or white. Okay, so Trump voters think that they're not going to see that. Trump voters, it's like 50-50 on a black president, 55-45 on a female.
from an ethnic minority, again, 50-50. Whereas Clinton voters, they're way up at like 80%. They think there's going to be another black president.
Why wouldn't there be? I want anybody who's qualified for the job. Yes. Anybody who's qualified. Again, in Chicago, I can't believe how many people are absolutely up in arms and just excited that they're going to have a female mayor. Or female mayor. Oh, my God, female mayor. What does it matter?
How about somebody that knows how to govern well and takes care of the province?
I don't care. Stop voting on people for the color of their skin or what's between their legs. If they can, I would follow any person, gay, straight, black, Hispanic, trans. I don't care. If our species is about to die.
Yeah,
and that it's ma'am guy from GameStop walks in and says, "Follow me, and I will lead you to victory." And they have a brilliant plan, and they inspire me. Guess what?
Yes,
I'm going down in history.
Thank you.
Serving you as my leader. So, segue. Miss Gail's missing Doc Mojo on Twitter.
I know their handles are so long.
Hashtag what I learned today. Try the show again today. Nope. Slapping women is just not funny. No, it's hilarious and necessary at times. Been listening literally since day one. Stuck with the guy. Here's the deal. I make fun of everyone. I self-alienate on purpose. I absolutely know what I'm saying is purely the views of me and not anybody else here. So listen to hate me. Don't listen to alienate Brad. How dare you?
How could you hate me?
No. Brad needs you.
I just need a good petting on the head.
I'm the guy who's going to die alone in a pool of my own urine, cold at that point, sitting on a Barca lounger that's got duct tape on it, you know, because I'm so, and I've got a beard down to my ankles. No one has visited me in years, all because they heard the show and said, he doesn't like women. Let's let him die. So I'm punishing myself.
What is that?
I know.
In another poll about the presidency, they were asked, these being U.S. Americans, who their favorite on-screen president was. And
Kennedy.
This is,
Kennedy?
No, fictional. Excuse me, fictional on-screen president.
Oh, I got to go with
there's 10 of them. Here's the bottom 5. It'll help you.
Go ahead.
Bottom 5, Dave Kovic from Dave.
I like that. It was a good movie. Good movie.
Selena Meyer from Veep.
No, because that's fictional. That's fictional. No, that's fictional. That would never happen.
Frank Underwood from House of Cards comes in at number 8.
Kid toucher.
James Sawyer from White House Down.
No. Oh, that was a good movie. That was a good movie. I don't know if that was Channing Tatum or the other one. They had 2 movies came around about the time about a president. Jamie Foxx.
Yeah, I was going to say it looks like
Jamie Foxx was in the president of the other one. Yes. Okay.
And Thomas Kirkman at number 6. He was in Designated Survivor.
None of them. My favorite one is Andrew Shepard.
Well, hang on a second.
From The American President.
This is right here is number 5 on the list. See if you can figure out who this is.
Should get back to the residence.
The president.
Maybe we should lie down.
We know that one.
Absolutely no need. I'm fine.
Well, that's Sheen. Martin Sheen.
Nothing you need.
What's the name of the president?
That was a TV show, the West Wing.
What was the name of the president?
Come on, work it out. My sister's ass. I don't remember.
You got this.
I don't remember that. I don't remember. I don't remember.
How many? Who'd you say, Isaac?
Starts with the J.
It does start with a J.
Josiah.
Josiah Bartlett.
Okay.
Comes in.
I don't watch the show.
I don't either. I just happen to have the answers.
But he played the chief of staff in The American President under Kirk Douglas's son, Michael Douglas.
In
American President.
Yeah.
A great movie, but it was also directed by ultra liberal meathead from Archie Bunker show. Thank you very much.
Number 4 on the list in the most popular fictional president is this one.
Carmen's House of Flowers.
Yeah.
Good. I'd like to order some
That's
flowers,
my guy right there.
Please.
Michael Douglas is.
Well, tell me, what is the state flower of Virginia?
What is the state flower of Virginia?
A dogwood. But a dogwood's actually not a flower. It's a tree.
It's a tree.
It's a tree and a plant. I know that movie inside
It's a
and out.
floor wax. It's a dessert topping. It's a tree. It's a flower.
All my credit cards are in storage.
Yes.
I don't know if you recognize my voice. I'm the President of the United States.
At number 3.
You know why? Because Annette Bening was in that movie, and I could watch her floss her teeth for 2 hours.
Who couldn't, right? Number 3 on the list of the most popular fictional presidents, according to a survey of over 20 million Americans. or something like that. This is number 3.
Good morning. In less than an hour.
Yeah,
Aircraft
Independence
from
Day.
here will join others from around
What's the president's
world.
name?
And you will be launching the largest aerial battle in the history of
Mr. President.
Isaac, you know this one?
Mankind.
Thomas Whitmore.
Thomas Whitmore. Very nice. Are you,
Wow, good call.
Did you cheat? You're just looking at my screen.
I am.
Oh, man.
Wow. See, that's what we have to look forward to in the Ute of America. They're going to be cheaters. Number 2 on the list. This is number 2, fictional president.
What do you know about Yali?
Yeah. Extinction level event.
A better cover story than a sick wife.
I love Andy Dufresne.
There you go. That's your guy.
We'd always thought the deadline for going public was the
I miss my
publication,
friend,
but
Andy
spent more
Dufresne.
money than we
Did you ever
could
notice
buy.
he talks differently since he got his dentures?
No.
Yeah, he does. He talks a little bit differently. If you watch that movie, Catch Me If You Can, the one with the magicians we were talking about the
Now
other
You
day.
See Me?
Yeah, Now You See Me.
He talks differently?
So he got dentures. He got his teeth, and he had to learn how to speak having false teeth in.
I tell you, I had to have an implant here in my mouth.
Yeah.
And when I got the temporary, it was like having a retainer in there. And boy, was that hard to talk. I started to sound like Carrie from The Incredibles.
I know she's Italian.
It's like a C instead of a K and an R and an I. The number 1 voted fictional president, according to this YouGov poll, was, of course...
Today, when I visited the Red Cross,
Oh, shut up.
overwhelmed by the flood of refugees fleeing from the horror.
That would be James Marshall, or
I realized I don't deserve to be.
Air Force One.
as
You
one.
get off my plane.
Air Force One.
I do love me some Harrison Ford.
Yeah, in his roles. I mean, he's got on Han Solo, obviously. The guy's the most successful trilogy. Well, now I don't know how many Star Wars there are, but he's one of the most successful actors on the planet. He's kind of a douche. Oh, you like him because he does what you do.
Oh, he's a he's a carpenter. That's the way he was actually in the studio working on, I think, a doorway when they asked him to audition for the movie. Now, he was an actor at the same time. He happened to be the right place at the right time. But yes, Jesus was a carpenter too. So
Yes, he was.
We all hang together here. That's the way it is.
I see what you did there.
That's not what I meant.
There you go.
I'll just move on. This is Doc Thompson's Daily MoJo.
High capacity, fully automatic, large caliber, freedom. MoJo 50.
Just because you could doesn't mean you should. If ever there was a mantra for politicians in Washington, D.C. to live by, this is a really good contender. It also happens to apply perfectly to President Donald Trump's declaration of a national emergency in regards to the southern border. In fact, his actions tell us just that. Most media outlets have treated Trump's national emergency announcement earlier this month as if it was written into stone the second he spoke of it. That brings us to today's first number, 12, which is the number of days it's been since Trump made that announcement and the number of days he's waited to sign the actual declaration. Yes, you heard that right. Trump hasn't actually backed up his words by putting pen to paper just yet. Despite the lack of said pen to paper, the House of Representatives have taken to a joint resolution to block this action, passing it on Tuesday night. Trump, of course, has threatened his first veto if it passes both sides of Congress. No matter what you think of the Democratic-led House or Donald Trump, the law is on the side of Congress on this one, and they finally seem to be on the same page in regards to not giving away more of their constitutional role, which is a good thing for our republic as far as I'm concerned. But don't think for one second that that vote against this dangerous use of executive power absolves Congress. That's because of these two numbers, 31 and 6. 31 is the number of still open declarations of national emergencies from previous presidents. 6 is the number of months it's supposed to take between Congress reauthorizing those declarations. And that brings me to this number, 0, which is the number of times Congress has bothered to do its duty under the National Emergency Act of 1976 and actually vote on reauthorizing any declaration. As for those 31 still open declarations, you may not be shocked to find out that the vast majority of them are over monetary issues. This has been By the Numbers. I'm Andrew Coppins, and you can follow me on Twitter at The Coppins Show.
By the Numbers with Andrew Coppins is powered by TarRiverArms.com. They've revolutionized online firearm sales with high-resolution pictures, 3D imaging, and the best prices. How much will you save? Find out at TarRiverArms.com. That's TarRiverArms.com.
The Daily MoJo.
Hitting on you over in the chat room or on Twitter?
Larky, if you're parking on Twitter, Hashtag what I learned today. I'm really enjoying hearing Brad Staggs trigger angry Izzo. What's that name? I don't know. What's the name? I don't know. What's the name? I don't know.
And then he got to walk down there and say, I got to lay off the coffee.
Yeah. I'm pumped up today. It's great.
My doctor says it's too much caffeine.
I want to fight just a group of angry toddlers and just see I'm going to take out one punch.
Yo Soy B from the SAV. Hey, look, they're copying you, Isaac, as the ultimate in compliments. The president from 24 in the Allstate commercials was one of my favorite fiction presidents from the Allstate. Black guy. What's his name? He has a real deep voice. It's not Allstate, State Farm. Is it Allstate? No, it is Allstate. What was the guy? The actor, the dude. He was the president in 24, and he's got a great voice, and it's... Damn it. That's not it. Somebody will figure it out. Anyway, but yes, I totally agree. A fabulous president, and what a great voice.
Dennis Dexter Haysbert.
That's right, Dennis Haysbert. Amazing. And thankfully, I've never heard about his politics. So I can continue to actually enjoy listening to him and watching him on television. So Ocasio-Cortez, excuse me,
she's so hot.
Until she opens her mouth. So she's decided, as we've all heard, that even the lowliest of the lowly, the interns, which, by the way, technically that's supposed to be an unpaid position.
It's a position where somebody's showing you how dedicated they are to a position they want. Right. I think it's a position of extreme integrity.
Absolutely. It's very much so. But they decided with our tax money that in Washington they're going to. Interns were supposed to be able to. They had a second job, whatever. They were interning because they had the financial means to do.
Show how bad you want it.
Yeah. How bad do you want it?
Daddy wants to know.
$52,000 is going to be the rock bottom salary when you work for Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. That was appropriate, wasn't it? And she's capping her highest level staffer at $80,000.
What do you do as a staffer?
I don't know.
Okay, you're probably going to work. Here's the deal, too. This is why she parades around with her Starbucks and her on-screen airtime and whatnot. She's got people who are writing her speeches, organizing her content, all of this stuff. So you know damn well that she's running these people around the clock 24/7.
Oh, yeah.
I understand that. But $80,000 a year to sit in front of a computer and pull up Google information?
Well, she, on the other hand...
What does she make?
Miss Ocasio-Cortez will be making roughly $174,000.
Again, $174,000 to be a parrot. That's all these people are. They regurgitate. It's like talking points. You pull up your screen. Oh, this is what somebody organized for me today. Let me go on the news today and take an empathetic position with you, and I'll open up my big eyes and have my condescending nod as I talk. Because, Brad, you don't know what you're talking about. I do. I got elected. I'm in charge.
Oh, yeah. She's the boss. How about that? So she's at actually the 5 highest paying. Do we have a phone call? 5 highest paying government jobs. House and Senate member at $174,000. That would be her. If you are the majority or minority leader, you get a bump up to $193,400. I mean, it's hard to live on that sort of. It's hard to live on that sort of money. If you are Speaker of the House, you get $223,500. Remember, if you're going to be elected to the House, you have to be at least 25. You have to live in the state you represent and be a U.S. citizen for at least 7 years. The individual results may vary. Supreme Court Justice comes in at number 4. They make anywhere from $255,300 to that's as a lowly associate justice.
Life.
$267,000 for the Chief Justice.
You never have to buy clothes. You're always wearing black robes.
Yeah, you don't. When you get up in the morning, you don't have to think about what you're putting on.
No.
They could be naked underneath those things.
I would.
Just saying.
You want to take a call?
Do we have a?
Yeah, we got a call.
Was it Jeremy Hansen? Oh. Jeremy Hansen was supposed to call. Yeah, sure. Crapshoot. Answer the phone.
Hello. Morning.
Hello. Pizza Hut.
Call, are you there?
Hello?
Yeah, we're here. What's going on? You're on Daily Mojo.
This is Chad Robichaux calling in for an interview.
Who?
What are you wearing?
Put him on hold. We'll get.
Give us 2 minutes to call. We'll put you. Don't hang up. Just hang on.
No worries. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
I don't know who that was, but
I want to take that call. I want to take that call.
It may be that I just didn't check the calendar to find out exactly if we do have a guest on this morning. I didn't think we did. President of the United States, number 3. You would have expected him to be on the top of the list of 5 most well-paying jobs, but number 3 on the list at $400,000. Here's the weird thing. If you're vice president, you get $243. That doesn't seem fair.
Dude, you're a figurehead.
243 versus 400,000. I mean,
you mean you're not the one taking all the hits?
Oh, okay. Don't you think Mike Pence is taking a lot of hits?
For $243,000, I will bend over on the friggin' White House lawn and take the hits because you still don't have the ultimate responsibility he has. I'll take it. Please. That 4 years in office, a guaranteed $250,000. That's $1 million you earn in 4 years.
Not bad.
Give it to me, baby.
Not bad. And by the way, I did check the calendar. And there's nobody on my calendar, so it's not my fault.
So we want that? We're talking. We got one more.
I don't know. So maybe Isaac, if you can find out who that is. I don't guess there's anyone.
Are you still on the phone?
Number 2 is the public college president. This kind of surprised me. You're as a public college president. You are a public servant technically. You're getting paid by the government. Your salary as a public college president, $464,000 a year.
Again, you have to look at the position as far as a college president. Do you think you can get sued?
They have been.
Oh, yeah. How many sexual harassment, #PoundMeToo lawsuits are coming your way? I wouldn't want that job.
Actually, and apparently that like in Arizona, at Arizona State University, Michael Crow made in 2016 made $1.5 million. So, wow, I didn't realize there was such
that better be the most successful college on the planet.
Opportunities for advancement as the head of a college, public college. They abound, my friends. They abide, they abound. And number 1 on the top list of the list of top government paying jobs at $1.81 million, so almost $2 million a year. This, again, is the number 1 highest paid job in government. A football or a basketball coach at a major university.
Yeah, well, you know damn well that's because those sports sell. Those sports are like kids are going to college.
Yeah. Let's see. That's Wall Street. $1.81 million. On the lower end of the scale, number 5 on the lowest priced or the lowest paying jobs in government, at $31,920, you've just won the job of a bus driver.
I'll take it.
From either a school bus or sightseeing tours, like I guess the ones in
Don't make me turn this bus around.
That would make me insane driving a bus.
I always thank the bus driver though for the ride.
Yeah.
You should do that. It's like a courtesy stuff.
I agree.
Wow.
You're ahead of your generation.
No kidding. How did he get so how did we raise such a nice, polite young man?
Don't know. He's the Brown Panther.
Man. Number 4 on the list of the worst paying jobs at $24,000, $26,490 in state government or local government pays even more at $32,000. Forest and conservation workers. Now, I find that odd because isn't that always, I mean, you've got the left in charge and don't they always want, it's always green this, green that. You'd think they'd want to be paying these.
No, is that like fish and game and wildlife and stuff like that? Are they sworn personnel that have authority?
See, forest and conservation workers get to spend their days outdoors. You'll be making much, blah blah blah. Does not. Say.
I know that fish, game, and wildlife they have more authority than cops do.
Do they really?
Oh yeah.
So if they don't
screw around.
If they tell me to get out of the car.
Oh yeah, no, I would do what they say. They don't screw around.
As long as she's hot, I'm getting out of the car. Number 3 on the list at $24,190. This is the national average salary for janitorial staff.
What janitorial staff?
Janitorial, not janitorial. But if you find a local job with your local government, the average salary is $31,000. Not bad.
I did know a guy who loved his job. He cleaned up the park district at night. He worked from 11 p.m. until 6 in the morning. Got paid like $40,000 a year. Loved it. He's like nobody.
Yes.
He goes, I put my headphones on.
Yes.
I clean. No one talks to me. No one's here.
Absolutely. I'm totally in with that. Tony Robbins used to be a janitor.
Yeah, look at him now.
Banana Hands.
Now he'll sell you friggin'.
What's that movie?
That's a Shallow Hell.
Yes. Nice. At $22,000, this is on the lower end of the scale, the worst 5 paying government jobs. Home health aid.
Oh, no, I'm not wiping anyone's ass.
$10.66 an hour provides basic health care and personal care services, such as bandaging injuries or grooming.
Nope.
I wonder if that includes personal grooming.
No, yeah, I'm not doing it. Nope.
They may also assist more qualified medical personnel, such as doctors or nurses, in administering medications or checking vital signs.
Nope.
Let me check that for you.
Yeah.
Let me see. Is that still? Oh, I feel a pulse.
Those shoes Italian.
I feel a pulse. The number one lowest paying job at the bottom of the proverbial crap hole here, at $20,160. You are an amusement and recreation attendant. So that's, I guess they say, a variety of tasks like scheduling use of recreation facilities, maintaining sporting equipment, and operating amusement park rides. Does the government own amusement parks? Or is that just called Washington? Just saying. That's what they say, that you, as an amusement and recreation attendant, you're going to get $20,160. That, my friends, those are the top 5 worst and best paying government jobs.
America!
You got to love this country. I mean, if Tony Robbins can rise to the...
I went to one of his seminars. I walked on fire.
How was that?
It was 4 days. It was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It was 2009 I went.
And one of the...
We got Chad Robichaud on the line.
Oh, we do?
That's he's been holding.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I did not... Chad, how are you? There you go.
I'm good, man. How are you? I'm just sitting here listening to you guys.
Sorry about that. We didn't. I checked I know you were supposed to be on. Was it Monday? And I know we had to reschedule. So, yeah, our apologies. It's the fact that we have the world's cheapest phone system, and it's very very difficult. Chad, for those of you who don't know, he is the founder of the Mighty Oaks Foundation. And Chad, tell us what the Mighty Oaks Foundation is all about.
Well, Mighty Oaks Foundation is a organization, it's a nonprofit organization set up to help active duty veterans of the military and spouses who are struggling with some of the hardships of military service, primarily to eradicate the suicide rate, 22 a day, and diagnosis of post-traumatic stress and divorce rates in the military. We do that through 30 one-week intensive programs we run every year at 4 different ranches around the country, and then also doing resiliency programs, going to travel around the world to different bases and speaking about resiliency, spiritual resiliency. We're a faith-based organization, and we've had some just extreme success. Probably the number one organization with successes for combating veteran suicide.
Right.
And so
has that
what I
number?
get to do. It's amazing. I get to be part of it.
When did you found this? What year? It's been a while, hasn't
it? 2011, and it was right after I came on the other side of dealing with my own struggles, and people helped me, and it was started as a grassroots pay it forward effort. That's just has exploded ever since, and each person that comes to our program has been challenged to do the same thing, to turn around and pay it forward, and it's took us to the rate that we are today, serving thousands of warriors around the world.
There was I worked with a guy who worked in private security, and he was I don't think he was retired. He was a ranger, and he and I were talking one day about depression and some of the things he had seen, and we were discussing the fact that, you know, if you end up as a veteran going and you're diagnosed as being depressed or whatever, and especially him, he was working in security at the time, you risk losing your ability to make a livelihood because of the connection between depression and your carry permit and your ability to to work in personal security. And his comment to me was, look, we have to depend on each other. He and his buddies would lean on each other as opposed to going and getting professional help, which I totally understood. And so this is a foundation that that really is helping guys like that who are caught between a rock and a hard spot, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, we deal with a lot of active duty folks who come to us on official military orders, and it's become a very safe place for them to come because we're non-clinical. We're peer-to-peer mentorship, and so just like your buddies talking about, he goes to some of his teammates. We may not be teammates, but we are those same guys. All of our instructors are combat vets who's been through the program and trained to turn around and lead the courses. And so it's peer-to-peer. We have guys who are a lot of guys are coming from the aviator community, and they're pilots. A lot of Cobra pilots from the Marine Corps. You know, those guys go into the clinician to get help. They're going to be not be able to fly and not be able to do their job.
Right.
And guys from the, you know, I was a Force Recon Marine. I'm from the Special Operations community. I knew when I started having my problems, if I asked for help, I wouldn't be able to do my job anymore. And so I didn't, and it led me to a point to where, you know, the wheels completely flew off for me. And so we get so many guys from those communities, from the Special Operations communities, that can't ask for help, or they feel like they can't ask for help because of the consequences that affect their job. And so Mighty Oaks becomes a great resource for them to be able to come, non-clinical, nothing on the records, and just come and get their life recalibrated and get back on track and continue to serve, or for those in the worst case scenarios, get back to living again.
Right, and I think that's what a lot of people who have never served don't understand is the fact that getting back from combat, and I mean it's hard for me because I never served, but the things that you have seen, the things that you have experienced, I mean the average person can't even begin to comprehend.
I mean, you know, I could only relate to best to my own experience. I did 8 deployments as part of a JSOP task force, a Joint Special Operations Command task force, and you know, in the beginning I was, you know, extremely prepared, very trained to do my job, and completely ready to do my job. The intensity of the environment and the way we operate it just led me to a place of being just very intense, very driven. Everyone I worked with operated that way, and that anger over time and that intensity, it started coming home with me. Instead of just being in Afghanistan, being that way, and be home and be that way with my family. And you know, it's always a shame for me to say, but it's just the reality. Like, my home wasn't a very happy place for my wife and children when I would come home.
Right.
You know, from Afghanistan, and eventually that anger and started turning into anxiety, and it started manifesting in these physiological symptoms. My arms would go numb, my face would go numb. I feel like my throat was swelling shut, and I would just, you know, I didn't want to say anything because of the reasons we talked about a second ago. And I just kind of pushed it down, and eventually those things got worse, and I started having periods where I almost felt like these out-of-body kind of experiences, and I started having these foggy moments where I'd almost come out of a slumber and realize, man, I don't even remember like the last day, and I realized that I had to say something, and I came home and was diagnosed with PTSD, and I wasn't able to do my job anymore, which was devastating for me. And I was completely ashamed. I felt like I failed, which many guys struggle with.
Sure.
And on top of all that, these physiological symptoms were so overwhelming that the panic attacks and things I was facing, I felt like my body was just going to shut down at any moment. I was just going to die at any moment. And so it was a really bad place. And I stayed there for a period of almost 3 years, and just this kind of downward spiral. If you know the rest of my background, I really shifted into a sport that I did my whole life. I was a professional MMA fighter on the side.
I was going to say, I saw that you're MMA world champion. That's that's like tougher than a bull rider. So, those guys are crazy.
Yeah.
MMA, you guys are nuts.
I feel much safer getting in there and getting in that cage than I do in a bull. But I guess every sport has their own perspective of what they think is safe or not. But you know, I had done that since I was 5 years old, so it's really easy. I've done MMA since I was 5 years old. I've done martial arts. It was a really easy transition for me to when I got on those wrestling mats. You know, it's like my mind was focused. I couldn't think of Afghanistan, so it was really good for me. But the problem was that you could have, you know, a medicine for being sick or something, and you could abuse that. And that's what I did with jiu-jitsu. I just dove into it and didn't really deal with the issues that I was having. Of course, you put a lot of time into something, you're going to be successful. And like you said, I won a world title. I was 18-2 as a professional, and I fought on some of the biggest shows. And in that period of time, it looked like I was getting well. But the truth was, you know, behind the scenes in my home, my family was still falling apart. I was still just a raging lunatic, angry person, and I was still dealing with panic attacks and very sleepless nights, and I wasn't getting well, and it led to a separation of my family, and me and my wife filing for a divorce and selling our home and moving in 2 separate apartments, and the end result was me sitting in the closet with, you know, my pistol in my hand trying to decide how I was going to take my life, and with the one thing that kept me from doing it, very clearly remember having pictures on the floor of my family and sitting there with my pistol is the thought that my oldest son had the only key to my apartment. He would be the one that would find me, and that was the saving grace for me. But I was still trying to contemplate how, and it was a moment when my wife came to my door, my apartment. She knocked on the door, and I slid my pistol that I had in my hand at the time under a blanket and answered the door. And we engaged in an argument, and she asked me a question that it radically changed my life. And she just asked me, how I could do everything that did, becoming an Air Force Recon Marine, these deployments, training for these MMA fights. She saw me live like a very disciplined life. We've been together since we were 17 and 18 years old. And so she got to see this, her whole life. And she's like, how could you do all of that? And when it comes to your family, you'll quit. Right. And that question for me just radically impacted me. And she was absolutely right. I had been successful at professional things, but when it came to the most important things, being a husband, being a father, the Marine Corps was a second chance at life for me, because I had a very hard childhood, and I gave up on all those things that were most important, including my own health and my own will to live. And so I made a very radical decision that I was going to get back in the fight and turn things around. And I didn't know how, but I knew I couldn't do it alone, and I knew I couldn't do it with the kind of status of not just friends but fans around me. I had a lot of people around me at the time in my life, and so I needed to separate myself from that. And my wife introduced me to a man at a church she was going to named Steve Toth, and Steve met me at a coffee shop, and he asked me a question, kind of a second challenging question during my journey was, how I was going to get well. And I had written a plan on paper. It was pretty good. It was like I was really smug, slid this plan over to him of how I was going to fix my life, and he looked at that plan and slid it back over to me without reading it and told me I was going to fail. And I remember being really offended, but he tapped on that paper. He said, if this thing doesn't have anything to do with your relationship with God, I'm not going to waste your time. I'm not going to let you waste mine. And, for me, I tried everything in my life at that time. I tried the pills, the counseling, the sports, the MMA and jiu-jitsu, and nothing had worked. And that's one of the things we have in our program. If what you're doing isn't working, then why not try something different?
Definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over and not or expecting a different result. And you've got programs for men, women, and marriage programs too for couples, right?
Yes, we do. So we do. Our programs are one week intensives, and we pay for everything, so it's totally free, including the travel. We get the folks to our programs and at the 4 different ranches: California, Texas, Ohio, and Virginia. So wherever they live in the country, we'll get them there.
How do folks, if somebody needs to access your services, the Mighty Oaks Foundation, how do they get a hold of you? MightyOaksPrograms.org is the website. For any veteran or spouse or active duty wanting to apply, the application is on the website. Takes you about 5 minutes. It's very easy. Someone will contact you back within 2 days, and work some dates. We have 30 dates. 30 programs this year in 2019, so lots of options at the different locations to go to. All right, so it's MightyOaksFoundation.org, and are you on the Twitter and the Facebook as well? Do you have a Twitter handle?
We're on Twitter at Mighty Oaks FNDN Foundation, and on Facebook just Mighty Oaks Warrior Programs.
All right, we'll tweet out links to those as well. Chad Robichaux, thank you for joining us again. The Mighty Oaks Foundation, and all the success. Don't be a stranger, and I'll make sure that you're properly penned in on the calendar next time.
Hey, no worries, man. I enjoyed you guys' conversation.
There you go. That's the whole point of it. All right, Chad, buddy. Thanks. We'll talk to you again soon, man.
You know what kills me is it. And people don't appreciate this. It takes a certain mindset to be able to go over to another country, do the things that, frankly, we shouldn't know about. War is pure hell, and it requires the annihilation of your enemy. And men like this go do these things on our behalf, come home. I'm tired of hearing these stories about relationships falling apart. I know. I'm tired of hearing about them sitting in a closet, fucking pardon my language, putting a gun in their mouth. I'm tired of hearing about them not getting anything. They are doing things on our behalf that 99% plus of the population are not capable of ever doing. And we have to listen to these stories.
I know.
It's shameful the way the government and the VA treats our veterans. It is absolutely shameful, and we of course support our vets and our men in blue. And we're also out of time, so let's get this close on the road, shall we?
What do you mean it's last call?
There's the whistle. There's the whistle. That is it, ladies and gentlemen, the end of Doc Thompson's Daily Mojo. But as always, before we go, let's find out what we learned today. If we learned, first of all, if you'd like to get some federal Benjamins, the best way is to, maybe study the mating habits of the yellow-bellied titmouse. They will send you thousands and thousands of dollars of taxpayer money for the dumbest things. We also learned that even though they're on the metric system, Canada apparently measures by the foot. See what I did there?
I gotcha.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
Yeah. And we learned that if you have a knife in your back and you're trying to walk outside for a smoke, you're either a dumbass or a badass. I'm not sure which one, but I don't think I'd want to take you on in a fight.
Russians are coming.
Yeah. Yo, Izzo, what, if anything, did you learn today?
I learned today that I officially want to be a janitor for the government.
No kidding,
No question.
Ironically, it pays more than it does here.
Leave me alone. I also learned once again that not only will you not do AOC, but you'll do a midget in her place.
If the midget is, what's her name, Bridget?
Yeah, Bridget the midget.
Yes, I'm all over that.
And I learned after reading some tweets today, apparently I really will die as a pig sexist alone in my own puddle of cold urine.
See, they don't realize that you are just truly, really just a happy-go-lucky guy. You're just wearing the costume of a man who's angry.
This is true.
And spews vitriol. It's all Hollywood. Yep. What, if anything, did the listeners learn today?
As always, at hashtag what I learned today, Larky effin' Farkin says, how about you get the winner of the headlines game to provide the stories for the next time? No winner. The same person keeps going until winner's determined.
All right, hit me with that one more time.
So they want the winner. So you won today. His theory is that you do the headlines for tomorrow until somebody else wins. The problem is we'd all fail on purpose.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Because you see, that's one more thing that I'd have to put on the list to do. Since the guy ran in front of a train, I got a lot to.
Hashtag what I learned today. Just Peachy says, I have no problem with you being sexist, Izzo. It's refreshing to hear a man who's so self-aware. It's just a shame that you're very short.
You know, he's actually that's actually an optical illusion. He's really not that short. That's just
how it goes.
That's just a television thing.
Pickled squirrel. Confucius say playing both sides of the fence results in bruised naughty bits.
Yeah,
you're talking about Kamala Harris.
I can see exactly what that would result in that. All right, so what are we having coming up on tomorrow's show?
I don't know. You never tell me.
Exactly right. What does Matt Locke have coming up on his?
I think he's going to wear a My Guy hat, walk down the street, and see who pisses him off.
That should be interesting to watch.
Get your cameras.
Should be interesting to watch. Remember, today's Daily Mojo is a Ron Phillips and Yosor Isa production. We'll get to those new numbers on procrastination, by the way, when Doc Thompson returns from his vacation. Somewhere sitting on a beach. Oh, what? Hey, it's his money. Remember, wherever you go, whatever you do, live by the 5 rules, and you actually have a shot at being both right and happy. Think about that. And thank you, by the way, for crashing the website. I think it's back up now. So mojo50.com, click on shop in the Doc Thompson collection, and you can get your goodies there too. Good night, Doc Thompson.
See ya.
We know where you are.